LNK-TV Sports and the Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network presents Prairie Wolves football. Today it's the season opener featuring the Red Devils of Eureka College and your Nebraska Wesleyan University Prairie Wolves. This game is made possible by Lincoln Electric System and Nebraska Wesleyan University. Now let's take you out to Able Stadium with Jeff Moats and John Harris.
In what may seem like an eternity, it's only been 2 years, 22 months to be exact if you're counting, but we're finally back in the booth here for college football here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network here on LNK-TV as Nebraska Wesleyan opens up the season today against Eureka College. Along with John Harris and Jeff Moats, as we look at these two teams, let's talk about the last time that Nebraska Wesleyan played a non-conference opponent. It was a victory over Illinois College in mid-September of 2019, and then a lot has changed, of course, because of COVID-19. They're going for their consecutive win now, going on for 4 consecutive wins to open up the season. They have not lost an opening game to the year to a non-conference opponent since 2017, but with a new group of kids coming in, 60 recruits for the 2021 season, plus 17 seniors, that should spell out a good mix of talent to work with here with this Prairie Wolf football team.
Yeah, there's a lot of transition going on, a lot of uncertainty, not only in the world, not only in the culture, but, of course, here at Nebraska Wesleyan. A lot of new guys coming in. We see here seniors 16 starting their final season today. Again, the rust is there. And, again, no matter how many practices you have, that's not game speed. And so the challenge today, we'll try to get up to speed, minimize the mistakes. We got a new guy at quarterback, new running backs, new everything, and it's going to be a great challenge on both sides of the ball today.
There you see on the screen 65 recruits, 57 of them first-year players, 8 are transfers, and Nebraska Wesleyan has only played 1 game since the COVID pandemic. That was the scrimmage, well, what may have been a scrimmage, but it was counted as a game against Central College, and that was back in the springtime, so now we transition into more of a normal format for football this year. Yeah. And you mentioned looking for a new quarterback. Jonathan Curdy was the quarterback the last time we did a game here, and he was quite a spectacle to watch in controlling that ball. But Carter Terry, who is out of Grand Island Northwest, saw him play in high school. He's a very good athlete. He's going to get the start today here for Wesleyan.
Well, and the challenge, of course, for Coach Keller is just kind of keep it simple. Listen, give him some short throws to get him in a rhythm, and then you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball to take some pressure off. Give him some time. And I saw even in the warm-ups, he can spin the ball a little bit. So give him some time. He can make those short throws. And maybe that play action now gets him over the top.
Then you look at the other players to watch for Nebraska Wesleyan. Jacob Garnis was a name that we mentioned a lot a couple of years ago at the linebacker spot. He was in a lot of plays for the Prairie Wolves. Jacob Garnis will be a guy to look at. You see what he had, 107 total tackles in 2019, second team All-American Rivers Conference back then. He is going to be the guy that's kind of, as you say, the straw that stirs the drink for that defense for Wesleyan.
Well, he's a guy who's all over the place. And, you know, we're looking for the 3 R's. We got to recognize, we got to read, and then we got to react. And so Garnis has been does a tremendous job at that. But, again, it starts with the defensive line. That allows the linebackers to kind of go to and fro. So that frees him up to be able to roam a little bit. If that defensive line can get some pressure upfield, then Garnis will have a big day.
On the other side of the ball for Eureka College, we talk about what they bring to the table. They got a lot of experience. They played 5 games in 2020, a veteran ball club. They're very run-heavy, rushing 913 yards in 5 games, only 753 yards passing, which is not too far behind. And then Joe Hughes is the guy that they're going to be utilizing at running back to be their offensive weapon.
Yeah, 1,000-yard rusher. So the defensive line and, again, the linebackers have to be on their P's and Q's to get this done here today.
He just needs 24 yards to hit 2,000 for his career. We'll find out if that happens today here in Lincoln. More than likely will, but we'll see how Wesleyan tries to stop him from there. Nebraska Wesleyan, Eureka College. The kickoff is just moments away right here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Back here at Able Stadium as we get ready for kickoff this afternoon here between Nebraska Wesleyan and Eureka College out of Illinois. As both teams set to get this season started here, Eureka will kick away here to the Prairie Wolves. Stephen Bartkus, the freshman kicker out of Seneca, Illinois, will do the honors. And we'll get this thing started here as we wait for his signal, and here we go. And here is the opening kick, a deep end-over-ender. It's going to be into the end zone, go out of there for a touchback. And the Prairie Wolves will get it at their own 25-yard line to start out 2021 under a new quarterback in Carter Terry.
Well, let's see how Coach Keller wants to run it here. And, again, I think running gets Terry going. But, I think the short passing game, which we saw in the warm-up, boy, he did a great job. The idea is if you got a zone defense, you're looking for guys to settle in that zone, throw that quick, 5-yard, 4-yard pass to get the ball upfield. So let's see where we start here. First down of the season.
And they'll send a man in motion here. That is Trace Lenners. And a handoff instead around right side, giving up that time to the tailback for the Prairie Wolves, which happened to be number 21, Logan Evans.
Hey, how about that from Logan Evans on the first series, the first play of the season? He rumbles and bumbles for big yards on first down.
All the way up to the 41-yard line. Hurry-up offense will work out of the I formation with two splits here on the left. Turnaround pitch. And giving up again to Evans on the carry, the sophomore out of Olathe, Kansas. Stop for no gain on the play at the 41.
Boy, Amari Smith, boy, he didn't fight. He fought off the tackle, or the block, rather, of the Wesleyan offensive player, and he just made a stick there on Evans. Boy, I tell you what, he wasn't having any of it off that left side. So give him Amari Smith.
This will be a 2nd and 10. Trying to get things squared away here. Evans in motion out of the backfield. Here is Terry. Drop back pass. It goes through the fingertips of Sam Holman, the junior tight end, incomplete. And that'll bring up a third down, a crucial third down situation here for the Prairie Wolves.
I would have loved to have seen him let that develop just a little bit more, Jeff. David O'Connell was running a seam route, and he was open behind the defense. So right there, you got to just let the play develop just a little bit more. You have good protection on the offensive line. Give yourself some time to let the routes work themselves out.
3rd and 10. Terry dropping back. He's going to air it out down along the near side. Catch going to be made at the 32. 10, 5 into the end zone.
No.
Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan. And there comes out the penalty flag. The catch made by the wide receiver David O'Connell, but flags come out and
taunting is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
That's not what you needed right off the bat. It was a 41, make that a 59-yard toss from Terry to O'Connell.
And he's getting a mouthful from Coach Keller.
Not going to be tolerated.
Yeah,
and Coach Keller has got a legitimate complaint. You just don't do that stuff.
Oh, it's unbelievable. He turns around and waves at the player as you go into the end zone. There may have been some talking, some smack talk out on the edge, but they leave that on the field. They give him a touchdown and then give him a big penalty.
So take away the touchdown. It's going to be a first down.
Wow, and that hurts. You don't ever want to take points off the board. And he'd be sitting down for quite a while. If I'm coach, you're going to be sitting down for a while. That's just unacceptable.
O'Connell, a sophomore out of Lakewood, Colorado.
What a play. I mean, what a great play. Gets the touchdown, turns and waves.
You just don't do that, though.
Yeah, you get 2 flags on that one. So you take points off the board. That's big time.
Terry under center, working out of the I formation.
You got a little jump there.
And Evans gets the handoff around right side, and he gets right to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of talking going on, Jeff, on the field. You can see guys looking back and talking to one another. You don't need that. Play your game. We've already had points taken off the board, and O'Connell's still getting a mouthful from one of the assistant coaches.
I'm sure that's probably going to be further addressed maybe at halftime.
Yeah, it will be further addressed by him standing on the sideline for the first half.
Trying to get some receivers lined up on the right side here on 2nd and 10 for Terry as he drops back out of the gun. He'll lob it in toward the end zone again. And a one-hand grab into the end zone for a touchdown. It's Alex Mathis, the senior wide receiver, who makes the grab. And what a start to his senior season for Mathis.
Well, that's the second touchdown for Wesleyan. It'll only count as one this time. And what a nice lob over the top by Carter Terry. Dropped it into the bucket where only his man could have caught it. Right into one arm, as you said, And again, just a little fade action right here. We saw it the first time. This is the first play right here on the fade action for O'Connell.
That's the one that got called back.
And then O'Connell, then they get a block there as well.
Also, Neufeld with the point after attempt up and good. And just like that, right into the early part of this ball game, within 2 minutes of action, Nebraska Wesleyan strikes first on Eureka College. 7-0 the score in favor of the Prairie Wolves back after this.
A difference in the world. Begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
Well, one touchdown was taken away, and the Prairie Wolves redeemed themselves. Short toss from about 19 from Terry to Mathis to get in the end zone and get on the scoreboard. And it's 7-0 Nebraska Wesleyan ahead of Eureka College.
Well, that's Wesleyan's very fortunate there after the points taken off the board to get the opportunity for the touchdown and the score.
Here's the end-over-ender, kind of a short kick.
Hit the ground. It's going to hit the ground.
Hits it at the 21, and a quick pickup and throw down that time as the Prairie Wolves were able to get down there and make the short-lived return non-existent for Eureka College.
Well, O'Connell makes the play there on special teams and once again stands over the guy. I don't know. He's got some little attitude going on here today.
Joe Jackson was the guy that returned the ball, and I believe that was Jackson. Actually, it was Quentin Brookins that was the guy that was on the return that, again, that was very, very, very short-lived.
Oftentimes you don't want that ball to hit the ground like that. It is a live ball as soon as it comes off the kicker's foot.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for Eureka College. They fake the handoff on the option toss. Wounded duck pass is going to be intercepted by Lenners. Make that Carroll Simpson. Simpson on the return near to the near side. Flags are going to be thrown as he returns the ball inside the 15. Going to be marked out at the 11-yard line, but this could be coming back, and there is some talking going on between the players on the field.
Now, it was a tip pass. It was up there like a lame duck. Let's see if they get the interception, and then a block after the interception puts Wesleyan in prime real estate, if indeed that is the case.
Nathan Gerard is the quarterback that threw the interception, and this
is the highlight from before.
Now they're going to say a sideline warning against Wesleyan.
Yep. So Wesleyan, again, a tip ball at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage, causes the ball to flutter, and what a great opportunity for Wesleyan here off the interception just after a score. Again, watch out on O'Connell's back out on the field at 6'4".
Josh Romaine, the tailback, the freshman behind Terry, the quarterback out of the pistol setup. And a fake to him by Terry. Now Terry scrambling. He'll throw in toward the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. Diving for it that time was Lenners, the wide receiver in the back of the end zone. Just couldn't retrieve it.
Boy, you had more time back there for tea and crumpets or whatever you want to eat. I'll tell you what. That's a great job by the Wesleyan offensive line to keep Eureka at bay. But nobody could come open, and Terry threw it low, only where his player could get it. That's good. If you're going to throw it where only your player can get it. Incomplete. Now they just go down second down.
O'Connell split to the far side right. Romaine in the backfield behind Terry. He'll get the handoff. And as he tries to elude tackles, he is going to be surrounded and stopped that time. And Nehemiah Butler was there for Eureka College to make the stop.
Yeah, nothing happening there off right side. Tremendous job by Eureka right there, the Fighting Ronald Reagans.
That's right. Proud graduate.
That's right. That's right.
Our late President Reagan, 40th President of the United States. He was a radio guy when he started out, too, by the way.
Back in the day. So we got a nice spread out here. 3 left, 1 right. Wesleyan obviously look like they're going to pass here.
Terry out of the gun, gets the snap. He's going to look to throw. He's going to be in the pocket. Throws here into the back corner of the end zone to O'Connell, who gets it there for a touchdown. And that looked very easy.
Well, let's make sure we don't do any taunting here. Just give the ball to the ref and go on about your business.
Well, I think O'Connell redeemed himself after what happened earlier.
At 6'4", what an advantage to have a receiver out there, particularly on smaller cornerbacks. Looks like Eureka has cornerbacks in the 5'10", 5'11" range. And so just throw it up in the air. Let your player go get it. O'Connell does there. And that's off the fluttering interception.
Neufeld will attempt the point after here for Wesleyan. And the kick is up, and it is good. And all of a sudden, we are up 14-0 over Eureka College here within the first 3 minutes or so of this ball game here at Able Stadium. And we'll take a quick break and bring you back here with more action on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network on LNK TV. Mathis and O'Connell pick up touchdown receptions from Connor Terry. And all of a sudden, within the first few minutes of this contest, Wesleyan finds themselves up 14-0 against Eureka College. And here is the return, another short-lived one, all the way up to about the 24-yard line from Quentin Brookins. And so Eureka will go back to work again. Nathan Gerard is the quarterback, 5'11", 185. He is out of Gibson City, Illinois. And so he will be the signal caller here as the first time out, first play, through a wounded duck pass that was intercepted that eventually set up that last touchdown pass to O'Connell. Blitz being shown here by the Prairie Wolves. Zone read keeper actually handed off that time, give it up to Peyton Doughty, the running back, a junior, 5'9", 210 out of Cincinnati.
In Wesleyan, they're really hyped right now. 2 touchdowns ahead right now early in this ball game. And the defense needs to do its part, can get that offense back on the field. They're feeling themselves right now. And Eureka, in tough real estate, tough sledding early on. Just only second possession, though.
Second, and we'll call it 9. Here's a pitch, and trying to elude tackles that time. Nothing doing. That defense was all over the place and making the stop. Caden Daw among those over there to help in the stop that time for Wesleyan. And again, the carrier was Doughty.
Yeah, it looked like a pass forward for Eureka. Shovel pass forward, not backwards, not sideways.
This is a team that was selected to be 5th in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference this upcoming season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wesleyan doesn't care what they're rated right now. They done punched them in the mouth and need to keep punching until the end of this game. Nobody's wanted anything yet. And
now timeout called by Eureka, so they'll burn their first timeout of the half with 10:23 to go here before the end of this first quarter. 14-0 in favor of the Prairie Wolves. Nebraska Wesleyan, 14-0 lead over Eureka here early on first quarter as Eureka, the Red Devils, burn a timeout here on 3rd and long. And eluding the tackles, the keeper here by Gerard. He'll throw upfield, and a pass is complete around the 40, but a hard tackle, and enough for a first down. Reception made by Malik Folston that time.
And Caden Moore came in, it was at... There's number 28. That's Wyatt Nichols. Nichols came and laid the leather Boy, I tell you what, he hit him hard.
That didn't feel good, it looked like.
Wow.
No. We want to point out Jacob Garnis is not suited up today.
Let's see what's happening here.
Yeah, we do have a penalty flag, it looks like, on the field.
He come across the line of scrimmage?
I think he went across the line of scrimmage, so that's going to come back.
And a loss of down.
But to finish the thought about Jacob Garnis, we mentioned he is the player to watch today during our pregame. We found out just before kick that he was going to be in street clothes today. It looked like from some sort of an apparent injury, not exactly specifying on what that injury is, but he is not going to play today. But, you know, Colton Davis is an All-American Rivers Conference performer, and Caden Dawes, same thing. They're out there on that defense and offense, too, that are going to be pretty effective today. So 4th down in Eureka and punt formation, and here is the punt. And it will take a bounce at the 50, and they're going to mark it down right around the 47, 48-yard line in that neighborhood, and that's prime field positioning for Nebraska Wesleyan for their 3rd drive of the game.
What Garnis cannot do and will not do on the field, Jeff, he'll do on the sideline. You can see him already coaching up some of his guys coming off the field. And so he knows what's going on, and he is a veteran player. He's gonna recognize what a guy is doing right and doing wrong. He put something in his ear and send him back out on the field.
Terry under center, and on the pitch, a little bit of a sweep play given up that time to Kevin Timms, the wide receiver, and Timms gets 2 on the pickup to the 50.
Yeah, Tim's always an active participant. You know, plays quarterback as well if they need him to. But out at wide receiver, he's as tough as anybody on this team on the field. He's usually the one mouthing off. I'm surprised that O'Connell is kind of taking his position here early on.
I think a few words were said to O'Connell, and I think he's kind of kept it cool here for a change.
He's calmed down a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to take points off the board. You're going to get a talking to.
Rennie and Timms are the splits to the right, but Terry looking toward the left side, and he throws that one out of bounds around the 42-yard line of Eureka College. He was looking for Isaac Dennell, the sophomore out of Ralston, and it was beyond his reach as it went out of bounds.
Again, first game of the season, got to get the timing. We're still in practice. We're not in practice anymore. We're out on here. First game against Eureka, and now it's time to put everything that we did in practice into play on the field.
So a 3rd and 8 here for Carter Terry. Here's a pass to Timms, caught at the 29, breaking a free, getting in toward the 10, the 5, and takes it to the house for a touchdown.
Oh, there he is. Timms contributing in the way that he does. Nice little post pattern seam route and a strike by Carter Terry, and that's what we've been looking for. Is he the guy who's going to do what Curdy did for all those 4 years? And listen, he's answering the bell right now. But he starts, Jeff, with time. Look at the blitz. They pick it up, and he throws it quickly right over there all the way into the end zone. He missed the tackle there. Eureka right through the legs. And who's first to meet him? O'Connell.
3rd pass for a touchdown today. Here is the point after from Neufeld. And it is good, and all of a sudden, we're up 21-0 here within the first almost 6 minutes of this contest.
Wow.
21-0 Nebraska Wesleyan. Back after you see this. Well, within the first 5 minutes and 57 seconds of this game, it is 21-0 Nebraska Wesleyan. Welcome back, Jeff Moats, John Harris, and our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew here on LNK TV, our season opener, and it's our first game that we've done in about 22 months, since 2019, the end of the 2019 season. Here's the kick, and we picked up at about the 8 by Eureka College, and it's Folston who's on the return, and it's going to be a short-lived one again, up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, Wyatt Nichols on the special team tackle. Wesleyan doing a great job, Jeff, in all phases thus far. Offense, defense, and special teams. A little miscue on that first touchdown taken off the board by O'Connell, but since then, Wesleyan hitting on all cylinders.
And this is the type of football that we've been missing here for quite a while.
Oh man, I'll
with
tell
this
you
program.
What. And this is a welcome sight.
So 1st and 10 here for Eureka. A little zone read handoff, and it's given up that time to Dottie that time, and a big bear hug tackle by the linebacker Caleb Keys of Wesleyan, the junior out of Lincoln Northeast.
That's a great job by Keys. Just, again, recognize, read, and react. And he does a great job there. And I imagine he is one of the guys coming off the field that Garnis has put something on his mind, how he should play, how he should handle being out there without him.
2 splits, far side left, 1 here on the short side right.
Blitz off the edge.
They'll go to the air again, and the pass going to be caught around the 46-yard line of Wesleyan, out of bounds. And the receiver that time was Sebastian Hill. It was right to him, but he was out of bounds, unfortunately, for Eureka. So that'll bring up a 3rd, and we'll call it 8.
That's a great job by the Wesleyan cornerback, just using the sideline to press him out of bounds. And by the time he did catch the ball, he didn't have any more real estate on the field. And so that's a tremendous job there by Cujo on the outside.
So we'll go 2 splits, far side left. Hill being one of them, Folston the other receiver, 2 here on the short side as well for Eureka. Gerard will throw the pass, tipped up around the 45 by the Prairie Wolves. Good defense by Jacob Grumman, the senior out of Adams. He played his high school ball at Freeman, and a 3-and-out there for Eureka.
Well, tremendous job by Wesleyan thus far. I'll tell you what, Jeff, as you said earlier, this is a welcome sight to be able to see Wesleyan play at this level. But the challenge is to continue to play at this level. We know for all the games we've done, the game changes quickly. The momentum changes quickly.
It certainly can. And, when you look at the American Rivers Conference coming up here, Central College is highly favored. That's a team that Wesleyan played in the spring that one time. Here is the punt. And another kind of wobbly end-over-end punt around the 40, going to be marked down in that area, and that's where Wesleyan will take over. But you look at the the postseason final standings from 2019, Central is at the top of that list. Wartburg was there too, Dubuque, Coe, Loris, Simpson, Buena Vista.
Yeah, there's some good teams.
Wesleyan's toward the bottom end, and then Luther. But, we're 2 years removed from that. A lot has happened. A lot has changed.
Yeah. And Coach Keller, coming out of the GPAC into this conference, took some lumps. We've taken some lumps here early on, but you know what? Things are beginning to turn around.
And here is Romaine, who gets the carry. He kind of stumbled on his footing a little bit. He got a pickup of about 3 to the 43-yard line off that handoff from Carter Terry. And, the GPAC, we thought, and it still is a very highly respected conference. When you look at the NAIA setup that they have, a lot of great teams. Morningside took over as the dominant team when Sioux Falls left to go to Division II. Hastings had some good teams. Midland had some decent teams along the way. Concordia was always tough. Doane obviously had some tremendous teams. And then you go to the American Rivers Conference, and it's a whole different level of football.
Yeah, it is.
2nd, and we'll call it 7. Here's a pass complete on the near side edge at the 45 and taken down around the 41-yard line. The wide receiver, Mathis, that time with the reception, so a new set of downs for Wesleyan. But, that first year, I remember when we were doing the games in the American Rivers Conference, back then known as the Iowa Conference, we didn't know what to expect, and all of a sudden here comes Dubuque. Here comes Loris. Wartburg. We knew Wartburg was always a decent school for football, but you see it up close, it's like, wow, these guys are really good.
They are really good, and some really great players at that level. And we've seen plenty.
Here is Timms as he goes around right side off the quick sweep and takes it inside the 40, going to be brought down around the 38-yard line. But again, what we've been talking about, comparing the GPAC to the American Rivers Conference, I think the American Rivers Conference, to a point, the talent level is probably slightly better in many ways with the number of teams that are so good.
No, we've seen some great players.
And
oh, my
there have been
goodness.
so many good players. you begin to wonder if you brought somebody like a Doane or Concordia into the fold to this conference. I would think that the conference would be probably a little bit more competitive, number one. Number two, the talent level would be just unbelievable. 2nd down and 7. Here is Terry looking to throw. Got somebody over the middle. It's Timms again at the 10, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan. My word.
Boy, they are having their way here early on. Timms with his 2nd touchdown. And, boy, this Carter Terry, if there are any questions, folks, about whether Carter Terry can take over for Curdy and be the quarterback that Wesleyan needs, well, guess what? He's answering those questions right now.
We're not that far removed from when he was a star player out at Grand Island Northwest. He was one of the top quarterbacks in Class B.
Look at that.
There's a pass right there, and again, Timms with a nice reception.
But it starts with time, Jeff. Any quarterback that has some time can figure out how to get the ball down the field, most often. So if you give a guy some time, you could get down there and throw an open pass. I mean, my goodness, with some time.
And the point
okay, folks, I'm going too far.
Let's kind of back that up a little bit.
Slow your roll, homeboy. Slow your roll.
The point after from Neufeld is up and good, and we're at 6:22 here, first quarter, and it's already 28-0 Nebraska Wesleyan. Back after this.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
28-0. That's right. 28-0. Nebraska Wesleyan on top of Eureka College with 6:22 to go here in this first quarter.
First quarter. Are you serious?
Yeah, this is not a dream, folks. This is the real deal. Here's the end-over-ender. And it's picked up here and going to be ran out of bounds that time as Malik Folston ran out at about the 21-yard line. That's where Eureka will take over.
This is not a dream.
Well, now let's think about this. We've seen some season openers where they've been nail biters. We've seen ones where we didn't see any scoring in the first quarter, but then it picked up in the second, maybe tailed off a little bit in the third, and picked up again in the fourth. So,
well, I think the idea here is, and to your point, though we're laughing just a little bit, this is really unexpected because we didn't know what to expect.
Again, we have not had football here for 2 seasons primarily, other than the one game that was played against Central here in the springtime.
And to see Wesleyan come out this way, this strong, is tremendous.
So Eureka going to try to spread it out here as they try to advance the ball up here on 1st and 10. Pass is complete around the 27, brought down short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. Reception made by Pierce Bradford, wide receiver out of Decatur, Illinois.
And I think the folks who did, say Eureka would be 5th. I mean, they're looking at this talent, and that's not to say these guys aren't talented. I'm sure, at least right now, the game isn't going their way. But
I mean, they finished the spring football season that they had this year 2-3.
Yeah, they got some guys here who can do some things. Wesleyan has to be on their P's and Q's.
Gerard throws a pass on a leaping grab at the 48 and knocked down there, and enough for a first down. What a grab that was for Bradford. My word.
Yeah, he fell on his head. He wants to be careful here. He doesn't really know where he is right now. He's looking around. Who to give the ball to? There we go.
See how this all.
Yeah, they might want to take a look at him. He's saying he's okay.
Oh.
But he came right down on his helmet.
Oh.
Okay, so I'd probably want to give him a play off.
Yeah.
Look, he's holding his head.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Something's not right now with him. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you got to know how to protect yourself.
Maybe let's see what happens here on 1st and 10 from their own 48. And eluding the tackle and getting out of the pocket. Finally, Grauman comes over and makes the tackle on Gerard. And he gets all the way to the 48 of Wesleyan. That's where he's brought down, about a pickup of 4 on the play.
That's a great job, again, getting upfield by Wesleyan, but you got to have contain. Running quarterback, a guy who can get some yards with his feet. You got to have a spy. You got to have somebody watching so he doesn't get major yards. Wesleyan doing a good job up front and around the perimeters as well. Not giving away too much.
And they'll go double wideouts each side here on second down.
Clock ticking down.
And at the point of attack there, the Prairie Wolves defense makes a stop at the 50-yard line, that time led by Spencer Brooks. Another one out of Erie, Colorado, like Alex Mathis. Brooks, a junior, though. Both high school teammates. And they continue that here at Nebraska Wesleyan.
They got big number 96 in there as well. Connor Wilcock from Norfolk, Nebraska, Lutheran High.
Lutheran High Northeast, that happens to be where.
Got press coverage here, Jeff.
3rd down and 8. Pass on the far side, and it's going to be incomplete.
Oh, no, they caught it.
Did he catch it? He did catch it. Enough for a first down, brought down at the Wesleyan 24-yard line. Give that credit to Sebastian Hill, who kept his concentration, and he had another Wesleyan defender on him. Take a look at this again.
Yeah,
Watch
you got
this.
Cujo over there, and he just barely missed it. The receiver kept his concentration on it and it came down with it as he hit the ground. Tremendous pitch and catch for Eureka.
3:25 counting here in this first quarter. Here it is, a handoff around left side.
Oh, boy, what a play by Cujo over there.
He did a really good job, as you said. Cujo did a good job on the ball carrier that time. That happened to be Dottie again, the junior.
And that's the thing you want as your cornerbacks. Not just guys who can cover, but you want guys who can come up and tackle. Cujo does a tremendous job there. Recognize, read, and react, folks, and he makes a great tackle for minimal gain.
This is the closest or deepest, I should say, they've been in Wesleyan territory so far today. But they're at the 25, 2nd and long. Nice pitch and catch, complete at the 15, still breaking tackles. And finding his way further downfield is Bradford. And now there's a loose ball. Did Wesleyan get the football back?
Again, tearing at the ball as they were trying to bring him down. Nope, no ball for Wesleyan, no recovery.
So this will be a 1st and goal from the Prairie Wolves 9.
And again, you want to look at Pierce Bradford. Took a shot. He's still feeling it, Jeff. You can see him bending over. If I'm his coaches, if I'm even the referees, I'm like, listen, man, young man, you need to get off this field. He may have a concussion. He hit the ground with his helmet hard.
That did not look good when we showed that replay earlier. Zone read. Here's a toss, swatted, but caught into the end zone for a touchdown. And the reception made there by, looks like it was Ben Berninabe, the junior out of Peru, Illinois.
Yeah, yep, nice little short pass there. And he takes it right into the play action, holds the linebacker. Oh, almost had an opportunity there for a pick six, but no.
Yeah, Grumman was in the passing lane, almost had it. So 28-6 with a point after coming up here with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
A lot of scoring here early on. Got motion here. Let's see if they call it.
And
we didn't necessarily hear whistle. Guys just kind of stopped.
Yeah, it is a motion penalty.
Yeah, they got a lot of pointing here on the near side here.
So Stephen Bartkus will attempt the point after again.
Malik Jones, who was right there on that right side, did a little shimmy with the shoulders. Wesleyan trying to come off that edge to block this. At least look like they're going to block the extra point. And again, did we have motion again? Oh, we got holding.
And it hit the upright, and it's no good.
A lot of stuff going on that extra point.
And the point after fails. So with about 2:09 remaining in this first quarter, it is still a 28-6 lead for Nebraska Wesleyan. We'll come back after this. 28-6 in favor of Nebraska Wesleyan.
And you're not dreaming.
No. This is not a Dallas moment. This is.
Who shot JR?
Well, and Bobby's alive. The old dream sequence from that show.
I think maybe sometimes we might watch too much TV.
Or we got too much time on our hands outside of this stuff.
Now, I don't know. I know you don't have any time.
Here's an end-over-end kick that's going to go into the end zone for a touchback from Barkas.
Whoa, look at that.
And so still some chippiness out there on the field.
Boy, look at that. They got two guys.
And it's the opening game of the year. We're not 3 or 4 games into it. But 28-6, this is probably one of the best starts we've seen Nebraska Wesleyan have in a long time. I mean, the way the offense has been clicking, the way the defense has been performing today has been tremendous.
I mean,
there you see the man there, Brian Keller, a longtime head coach.
And he's come out of the booth. He's been out. Now he's on the field.
Yeah, he's down the field this season.
And I think that might make a difference. Obviously, it's making a difference right now.
Here's a pass to Timms from Terry around the 22 as he cuts up toward the 30, and he loses the football, and he's going to be spun out of bounds as he lost the ball. And they'll mark him out right around the 36-yard line. So if that's the case, that's enough for a first down. They'll move the markers.
Yeah, you got to be careful there. Coach is saying, hey, listen, we got to hold on to the ball. And this is what turns games around, Jeff. You got good blocking out there. And now coming from behind, look at that. Now, if that ball was a little bit more in the field of play, that's a turnover, and now Eureka's headed back the other way.
Under 2 minutes and counting here in this first quarter. And a handoff given up that time looked like that was Logan Evans perhaps as he got the carry. Pick up to about the 39, a 3-yard gain on the play.
And as well as Nebraska Wesleyan is doing with the passing game, you want to get a balanced attack, and so that's why the run game is still so important. You're not going to be able to pass your way in every game to victory, but you got to be able to challenge the defense with the run game.
I'll go 2 splits, make that 3 here on the top of your screen, here on the bottom side. On 2nd and 7. Another pitch and catch to Mathis at the 45. Got the first down and still trying to get more yardage downfield. Going to be brought out at the 46 of Eureka.
And that's all you got to be able to do, Jeff. I mean, this isn't the old Air Coryell from back in the day. Listen, how about a 5-yard out? Let the guy spin, get upfield, get as many yards as he can. And so this is today's football. The ball quickly out of your hand. Give it to a talented player and see what he can do. Quarterback's still going to get the yardage. Still going to get the yardage.
I'm impressed with how Carter Terry has commanded this offense today. I think he's done a very good job.
And you can see Nebraska Wesleyan has changed. They used to have the hand up and hand down, but now they've forgotten that and now just going for it.
Play action
Man
here
open.
for Terry. Got someone down here near side, wide open. Bobbled, incomplete. Oh mercy, so close. And Rennie was the intended receiver. He was all alone, and it bounced off, and it goes incomplete inside the 10.
Went through his hands and hit the face mask, and he is shaking his head. Okay. Listen, he drops it right in the bucket. It's right there. You can't be any more. You can't be any more open than that.
And, of course, the sun is out. Maybe he got a little bit that in his eyes and tried to get a grasp on it.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to pull a hamstring and everything. That's the reason why I missed it.
2nd, and we'll call it 10 again here from the 46. And this time Terry completes it to Mathis at the 40, and Mathis tries to get the first down. Looks like he's going to be marked.
We got pushing on the sideline here again.
Marked out at the 42-yard line, 37-yard line, and another penalty flag comes out.
And guess who was involved? O'Connell. Guess who was involved? O'Connell on the sideline again, said something to the Eureka player. The Eureka player pushed him. And now we have a penalty. Let's see if it's on Eureka exclusively. Yeah, O'Connell's going to have to go sit down somewhere.
So the personal foul penalty against Eureka.
Boy.
Wesleyan will have the ball.
And O'Connell, once again, involved in a penalty situation, but though it does not go against Wesleyan.
Now, wait a minute.
Uh-oh, let's see what happens here.
Or they're going to mark it off here. Let's see.
Okay, they're going to get the original spot right.
So this is going to go all the way inside the 25, and they're going to put it at the 22-yard line of Eureka. So from the near hash, with 24 seconds and counting here before the end of the quarter, time for one last play here for Terry out of the pistol. Fakes the handoff. Pursuit is on. He's going to take a sack and taken down back around the 30-yard line. And the tackle made that time by John Jackson. And time running out here. So the first quarter comes to a close. Already action-packed with 4 touchdown passes for Nebraska Wesleyan. As we are done with 1 quarter of play here in this season opener at Able Stadium. And your score is Nebraska Wesleyan 28, Eureka College 6. Second quarter action is next. Nice view of Able Stadium here, at least the football field here at Able Stadium. Prairie Wolves football presented by Lincoln Electric System here on LNK TV, the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Jeff Moats, John Harris, our entire crew today. 28-6 our score as we begin the second quarter of action. And things looking impressive not only here, but in downtown Lincoln. Looks like the Nebraska football team will get their first win. They're up 45-7 with like 8 minutes left in that game down there at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you got to do. You have about 9:30 left in that game.
Here's Terry in the pocket, scrambling. Flag going to be thrown. This will probably come back. He gets the pass off, and it's going to be knocked away. It goes incomplete. But penalty flags here in the backfield. This may be a hold or a push in the back of some kind against the Prairie Wolves.
Yeah, may have been someone clipping the mask as Terry was trying to get out of the pocket. Oh, we got holding here.
So it is a hold against the Prairie Wolves. And the one thing about Wesleyan to start the game, outside of maybe, unsportsmanlike conduct, which we saw earlier from O'Connell, it was relatively clean in terms of penalties. And there you see Terry trying to scramble out of the pocket again. The hold was, right before that. So second and long here for the Prairie Wolves. They'll work from the Eureka 40. And Terry looking to throw. Pursuit is on. He's in the pocket. He eludes another tackle. He spins out of another, and he's going to be stopped right there at the 40 for no gain.
Yeah, they've made a decision at Eureka to let's get this pass rush going. And they have now put the pressure on Curdy, on Terry.
Well, it seems like Jonathan Curdy was here for a long time,
Oh, my goodness,
wasn't he?
was he? And again, I remember his very first game where we were so uncertain about what he might be able to provide.
But he improved and got better. And today, Carter Terry's established himself already as somebody that they can rely upon here. So Terry out of the gun. The backup to him is Evan Johnson, the sophomore. And Terry looking to throw. He's in the pocket. He'll lob it downfield. Got somebody open. That's Mathis into the end zone for a touchdown.
Boy, I tell you what, is he having a day? Is he having a day? My goodness.
A heck of a game so far here for Mathis and Terry, who's been throwing the football all over that yard today. Take a look at this again on the replay. There you see it. And again, scrambling a little bit in the pocket, and wide open was Mathis into the end zone. And just like that, it's now 34-6 with a point after coming up.
And Rennie's going, hey, that was my touchdown. Well, you got to catch it first.
Neufeld with the point after, and he hits the right upright, bounces back, no good.
How many times could you hit the upright if you tried?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think a kicker intentionally could hit the upright if he tried.
No.
But there you go.
34-6, that's where we stand here. 13:58 to go here in this first half. Back after this. There you see one of the uprights. I think that's the right one. The one that Neufeld's kick or point after attempt hit. Bounced back. Here we go. And on the return here for Eureka is Folston. And Folston gets all the way up to about the 25-yard line. And that's where Eureka will take over. When you look at the coaching matchups today, both of these coaches are the winningest coaches in their program's history. Nebraska Wesleyan head coach Brian Keller in his 26th season, a career record of 120-122. Of course, he played here at Wesleyan as a 1983 graduate of this institution. He was the 2000 GPAC Coach of the Year, and he's also the longest tenured head coach in the American Rivers Conference. And the other one is Kurt Barth in his 9th season at Eureka. He is 62-55 in that time frame. And on 1st and 10, the Prairie Wolf defense smothering that backfield and coming out with a big stop. No gain, a loss of a yard on the play.
Obviously, you want to give Coach Keller some credit. You know, you got to change with the times, Jeff. You've been around a long time, and you try to see what's going on. What's the innovation that you have to make to be able to keep up with what's happening in your conference? And you know, he's gotten some speed players here. He's got some guys who've come in to add some speed and some depth, and that's what Nebraska Wesleyan has, some depth that they may not have had previously.
2nd and long here for Eureka. Here's a pass complete to Folston at about the 35, and he's going to be forced back down. They'll give him forward progress in the first down up to the 37-yard line. Make that the 38. They're going to say he got to the 38.
And Eureka's just, you know, that's the old take what the defense is giving you idea. You go into the zone, you sit down there. If your quarterback can hit you in that zone, then you have a successful play. They do it there and get the first down as Eureka's now is on the move.
I think they've shook some of that rust off a little bit, still trying to get the rest of all that off of them. Here's a pass to flat here, and it's complete to Folston as he stretches for about 2 yards out to the 40-yard line to get the ball advanced up that far. But, again, the way things have changed here since I've been covering Wesleyan football, going back to 2006. You know, when I came on board to do these broadcasts, Zach Raby, who was a star quarterback at Lincoln Southeast, was the quarterback here, and he had a great run here for Coach Keller. Phil Schroer was a big defensive back that was a difference maker, and I always remember he had so many big picks for touchdowns too. Remember one time down at Doane, he had one for about 90. There's a pass downfield for Eureka, and it's caught at the 20, goodness, all the way into the end zone, touchdown, and it's Bradford with a nice touchdown reception from 60 yards out.
Right over the outstretched arm of the Nebraska Wesleyan defender, dropped it right in there. Oh, my goodness, you couldn't have thrown a better pass.
That was a beautiful play. And Bradford with a nice catch. Take a look at this again.
Oh, again, full concentration here. The pressure's on, and he drops it. Now, this looks like it may have been tipped, and he has to be careful about his little taunting there. He's going to go down and do a neon Deion Sanders.
Still, though, what a great catch that was. And now the point after coming up for Bartkus.
And we said it earlier, Jeff. I mean, you got to continue to play tough up into the neutral zone. They don't call it.
The point after attempt is up and good for Bartkus. And now With 12 minutes exactly to go here before halftime, Eureka College puts more on the scoreboard, but they're still down 34-13 to the Prairie Wolves here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
You got a nice view from your front porch of watching football. That's kind of the benefit of living over here about 56th and Baldwin. I wouldn't mind it. That'd be a nice view to have. Go watch some football from your front porch.
Well, it's not the loft of Wrigley Field or the rooftops of Fenway Park.
No.
But it'll get it done.
34-13. Wesleyan ahead here with 12 minutes to go before halftime. Barkas is end over end kick, and they're going to say fair catch. And that's where Wesleyan will get the ball here, and that reception there on the kickoff by Victor Guzman. And so Wesleyan will take over here at their own 25-yard line. Doing some research here, looking up at the most touchdown passes in a single game in Nebraska Wesleyan football history, 7. And that was done by Mark Peterson, who was the quarterback here in the early to mid-'80s. And that mark was set in 1983. Here's a pitch. And it's Romaine cutting out toward the outside at the 30, gets up to the 35, got the first down, and ran out of bounds around the 40-yard line, short of there about 39.
And laid a lick as he did that. I mean, my goodness, he put that shoulder down and made sure that the Eureka defender knew that he was coming around the corner.
Mark Peterson again with that touchdown passing record in a single game. He's a former East High product. And he holds that record again. That was 7 in one game in 1983 against Midland. So they'll go one receiver each side with a slot. They'll move the tight end over, that's Holman, to the left side of the line. Terry fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Got some time, has somebody downfield. It's going to be caught at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. It's O'Connell once again.
And this time, just give the referee the ball. Boy, what a play. And what a pass. Ball on the 39. That's a 71-yard bomb, folks. Or 61-yard bomb.
Every bit of it.
And what a catch on the other end by O'Connell. Tremendous job.
That was number 6 of the day. And here is Terry again to O'Connell. Think the passing attack is back for this team?
Well, it is today. And what you're doing is you're providing a lot of film for the other teams in the conference. And so, the thing about sports, you make adjustments. Folks are watching. They're going to see what Wesleyan has to offer. It's only going to get tougher from here. Not easier, tougher.
So the point after is up and in, and 11-17 remaining here before halftime. It's 41-13, Nebraska Wesleyan ahead of Eureka College here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Nebraska Wesleyan, 11-17 to go here in this first half. And here is the kick. End over ender picked up at about the 7 by Folston. On the move to the 20, going to be hit hard and tackled around the 22-yard line.
And Nebraska Wesleyan, boy, I tell you what, Jeff, they have come out like a shot. The air raid offense, kind of a la Mike Leach.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about air raid. Oh, my goodness.
That's a good comparison.
I mean, well, that's what I'm here for. I mean, come on.
I know. But you're right. I mean, that's kind of a Mike Leach type of style. There's John Haxby, one of our camera crew members in the south end zone.
I mean, that's the only thing I can liken it to. I mean, Wesleyan, you know, they don't have any tape on this team. You know, it's just about what you do.
Right.
And so instead of saying, well, we don't know what they're going to do, we don't know what kind of defense. No, just do what you're going to do, and let them figure it out.
Doty was the guy on the carry that time for Eureka. Pickup of about 3 to the 27-yard line. So a 2nd and 7 situation coming up here for the Red Devils. Coming up at halftime, we'll chat with Nebraska Wesleyan President Dr. Darren Good and get the chance to talk to him for the first time in quite a while. Fake handoff, pass on a slant route goes incomplete. And that was Bradford, the intended receiver that time. He got knocked down. Knocked down that time by the defensive back, Dakota Prorock. Another one of the 16 seniors honored today.
Yeah, he gets up. Bradford shakes it off, but he got a nice lick.
So we'll talk with Dr. Good coming up here at halftime, getting caught up on, finally being able to have football here for the first time in 22 months at Able Stadium in front of fans. That's a nice, welcome sight, but also taking preventative measures, too, amid the COVID-19 crisis. And now penalty flags come out. And is this going to be a false start here against Eureka? Let's see. It's a delay of game instead. It says the play clock ran out. So Dr. Good's coming up at halftime, and plenty more here on our first broadcast this 2021 football season. And this is my 5th football game of the season.
Sheesh.
I know.
You're the James Brown of
no
sports broadcasting. I keep telling you that. Here we go.
3rd and long. Gerard with the pass on the far side. Intended for Bradford. It goes incomplete around the 24-yard line. Now that'll bring up the punting unit here as Eureka has their drive stall. Well, I'm trying to think here. 20th, I was out at Hastings for Lincoln North Star. And the following week, Easton Pius, and you and I had Fremont Northeast. Last night I had North Star and Northeast, and today. Yeah, so that's 5.
Yeah, my crack staff. Well, while you're working so hard, I've just got back from St. Louis, so I'm trying to get my bearings back as well.
Here's the punt. This one will take a bounce, or actually going to be caught. Signaled as a fair catch by Guzman at the 50. That's a perfect spot, right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, right on just on the north side of the Prairie Wolf logo. My crack staff is working hard on Eureka College information. So the Red Devils, their alums, famous individuals, and so forth. Stay tuned, folks. I know you're waiting with bated breath.
Know about Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, well, just to say that, Ronald Reagan's brother, John, Neil Reagan, his older brother, went to Eureka as well. So John preceded him, if you will.
Here is a handoff as Logan Evans gets a yard to the 50-yard line, so a pickup of 1 on that play.
But there's a story about a player, African-American player named Franklin Burkhart, who was on the football team, and they went to an Illinois school. They would not allow him to stay in the hotel. So the coach had all of the players stay on the bus.
Wow.
Including Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
That's right. They all stayed on the bus.
Here is Evans around left side, and he's bulldogged from behind. Tackled by Bryson Smith, the senior out of Cisco, Illinois. That's right. Ronald Reagan, I'm trying to remember what position he played.
Yeah, so here's the rest of the story is Burkhart felt bad for the team, and so Reagan called his parents who lived in Illinois and said, hey, listen, can the African American players stay at our house? So they got a taxi, took them to Reagan's house. They stayed there in Dixon, Illinois, so they wouldn't have to stay on the bus.
That's an interesting story.
It is. It is a great story.
There's a pass on the far side. It is complete.
And that's 1931, and it just shows you, the issues that we've had in our country over the years, and how the color of one's skin, for some reason, made a difference at that point in time, and they made a decision that you're not going to separate our team. Burkhart made his decision, and Reagan and his family made a decision to allow the players to stay at their house in Dixon.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
4th down here, Wesleyan going to go for it. Rolling out toward the left, and the pass intended for the tight end that time. That was Holman. Goes incomplete, so Wesleyan can't convert on downs, and Eureka will get the football back. But it's interesting to hear stuff like that because, people think of racial tension. They think of what's happened in the 50s and 60s, and obviously there's been some of that here in recent times. But, you think back to when Ronald Reagan was in college and something like that where he, as you talked about, asked his parents to get permission for not only Mr. Burkhart to get to stay, but also everybody else on the team.
The rest of the team, yeah.
That's great. That's good news.
And, Reagan was the one who signed the King Holiday Proclamation in '86.
That's right. Passing the flat, complete at the 40-yard line, and taking it all the way up is Kobe Newman, past the 45 up to about the 47-yard line.
But those players back then, Jesse Owens and Jackie Robinson and all those guys who took a lot of guff and gruff on the field. The story about Burkhart was in Reagan's autobiography was that he did not fight back and gain the respect of the other team that by not fighting and doing to them what they were doing to him.
2nd and 5 here out of the gun. Gerard's pass is complete to Bradford. He'll take it across the 45, and he is going to be forced back, but they're going to give him forward progress up to the 50-yard line, so 2 yards short of the first down. This will be a 3rd and 2 here for Eureka.
The one thing we're excited about, in this ball game, and we've watched this defense over the years, and sometimes get shredded in many ways, but they are all running to the ball so tremendously today. Even on that little short pass, you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys running to the ball carrier in ways we had not seen before. So that's a tremendous job here at the outset.
So 3rd and 2. Little zone read, little toss complete, and enough for a first down, and the catch made by Burnaby, who made the touchdown earlier for Eureka College. And so the ball will move. The yard markers will move. They're going to put the ball at the Wesleyan 46 with 6:42 remaining here in this first half.
And if I'm remembering that kind of tackle, which I do remember years ago, that takes out your knees, your hips.
Oh,
boy, you hate those kinds of tackles where they take your legs out. And Burnaby, you can see him on the sideline now, flexing that left leg.
So Eureka with a drive here, a little zone read and trying to elude the tackles, and not for long getting into that backfield. Connor Wilcox, the junior out of Lutheran High Northeast.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, he had the quarterback in the spin cycle there.
Yeah, he did.
A tremendous job by Wilcox. Just firing off. We got offensive there. Okay. We got a lot of highlights to show. But what a great job, again, at the point of attack. And we sing here with this 3-man pass rush, Jeff. Guys getting upfield, wreaking havoc into the backfield that allows the linebackers and defensive backs to do their job even better.
2nd down here for Eureka. Gerard in the pass, the far side, complete at the 39, tiptoeing the sideline out of bounds, completed to Bradford.
They're looking down all the middle of the field, looking, waiting for the right routes to develop. Had nothing and just threw it off to the sideline to a player just standing on the sideline. Get as much as you can. Leave yourself a 3rd down and about 3. Being a little bit more deliberate is Eureka here. Down big, But they're also learning. They're learning in their first game as well what they can do, what they have, what players can do on their team.
And they'll go with the handoff this time. It's Dottie who works out toward the edge. He's going to be forced out of bounds by the Wesleyan defense behind the 40 at the 41.
Yeah, big number 94 once again.
That's Spencer Brooks.
Yeah, Spencer Brooks. I tell you what, down the line of scrimmage, Jeff. Tremendous job moving laterally down the line of scrimmage. And again, this is what we've been looking for from Wesleyan historically, is how do you move down that line of scrimmage? How do you get off blocks to get to the ball carrier? Tremendous job there. We're going to get a timeout, it looks like, from the Red Devils.
So with 5:15 to go here before halftime, Eureka College will burn a timeout as they trail 41-13 to Nebraska Wesleyan. Looking at the Nebraska Wesleyan football schedule, next up for the Prairie Wolves, they'll go to Augsburg University up in Minneapolis next weekend. And then they'll play at Central College 2 weeks from today, and then they're back home 3 weeks from today against Loras here in Lincoln.
Yeah, we'll be here.
So that's coming up here on the schedule in the next few weeks. Fourth down here for Eureka, going to go for it. And a pass and a flag complete to Bradford, enough for a first down at the 36 and down the far side, and gets marked out of bounds at around the 32-yard line to sustain the drive.
Yeah, Bradford has some skills, Jeff. I mean, he can get open and has a little elusiveness. And has a little swagger, a little attitude about him as well. You know, he took a little lump on the head. But, again, time, quick out of the hand. Don't go out of bounds. Let's see. Let's get a little spin move and get as much as we can upfield, and then get back to that huddle. So you got to keep an eye on him for sure.
So first down and 10 from the 32 of Wesleyan. And now running out the pocket, getting the ball downfield, wide open in the end zone to Bradford for a touchdown.
I just said you got to keep an eye on him. They let him get past behind the defense. Great job by the quarterback. Touchdown.
41-19 is where we stand, and the point after coming up here for Eureka. And did you ever think we'd have this type of score margin here in the first half, especially late?
Boy, I'll tell you. Well, you know, it's like, you know, it's great to be able to score on offense, but you know, right now Eureka's not stopping anybody, and so Wesleyan with 41 points. But now, boy, what an outlay of points here in this first half.
And the point after attempt is up, and it is good for Stephen Bartkus. And with 4:36 to go before halftime, it's still 41-20 in favor of Nebraska Wesleyan. We'll just keep it right here. And so looking at the conference again, coming into this week, you know, with the final standings from 2019, again, there's assumption that Central's going to be at the top of the list, and Wartburg, they're going to be duking it out, and Dubuque's not that far behind. a couple of years ago had a pretty good season, so there's a lot of expectation for these teams to kind of perform well, but it's hard to gauge for what that's going to be this year based on what we saw 2 years ago. But you assume, again, you still got some leftover talent with those schools. You get new blood in there too. Things are not going to change, but we'll see.
Well, you've gotten time to get better. And that's what has happened for Wesleyan. I mean, they got some new guys. You got a little bit more experience now. So the layoff hasn't been a totally bad thing, because this team now, I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm pleasantly surprised by what I'm seeing here today.
I am too. Here's an end-over-ender, and Guzman's going to wait for the fair catch at the 6-yard line.
So, again, there were so many uncertainties about what we're going to have here with the Wesleyan football team on both sides of the ball. And I'll tell you what, Carter Terry has acquitted himself quite well on this first ball game. and looks like Wesleyan has some receivers. Again, the running game is a bit sketchy still, and you hope that develops. But again, the passing game is right there. Got guys who can not only catch the ball but get upfield. Coach Keller is motivating, telling the guys, listen, let's not get satisfied. We got 41-20, a turnover here, a miscue there. They're back in the ball game. So let's just keep putting the foot on the gas.
4:36 here in this opening, well, not opening, but it is the opening game, but here in the first half of action. And Carter Terry still out there. He'll throw a quick pitch here in the flat. It's complete to Timms, and Timms gets it around the 33-yard line. That's where he's going to be marked down. So pick up a 3 on the play for him.
Did you see the arm angle from Terry on that? Looked like a little Mahomes on that one.
A little sidearm action that time.
You love those sidewinders. You love those sidewinders. Talking about Garber earlier today.
Yeah.
Gene Garber. Quisenberry.
Kent Tekulve.
Yep, Tekulve as well.
And who was the guy for the Red Sox? Here is Romaine getting the carry.
Whoa, look at that
fake.
fake.
The edge, breaking tackles, first down, gets up to about the 48-yard line where he's going to be spotted down, and a big gain there on the ground. That's a positive for the ground game for Wesleyan.
He's not only breaking tackles, Jeff, he's breaking ankles. I'd like to see that replay again. Romaine, he gave him the old shoulder in and out. And number 9 for Eureka, I think that is Malachi Jenkins. He took the bait, and he was on the ground. Let's come around left side here. I'm going to show it quickly. And watch right there. Whoop! Gotcha. Got him on the ground.
And Romaine will get the carry again, but as soon as he gets the ball, he runs into a tackle, going to be brought down for a 1-yard gain up to the 49.
Yeah, that's a good job at the point of attack. Stephen Humphrey right there to stop Romaine, but Romaine puts his two hands, Jeff, one on the top, one on the bottom. He knew he was in traffic, and you want to be careful there. You don't want to turn the ball over in traffic, so he just cradles it and does not allow the Red Devil to get in there and pull it away. So now you got, again, O'Connell out here on the edge. One-on-one. Bad news.
A little play action here for Terry, eluding tackles. He's going to throw a bomb downfield to O'Connell, and it goes through his hands incomplete. And there's going to be penalty flags. That'll be pass interference. Makai Alvarez was the guy that was all over O'Connell downfield. And that potentially could have been another touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot there on the pass interference side. Maybe my eyes are from this vantage point. It looked like O'Connell had a chance to catch the ball, and the ball's in the air. Both guys have a chance. If you can, show that one again. I'd like to see that, where the pass interference was. Again, going for it on the bomb. Got nice job on the blitz pickup. Let's see if he gets there a little early. Yeah, a little early. A little early on the backside there.
So the ball is going to be moved down to the 36 of Eureka on the left hash. 2:40 on the clock here. First half of action about to wrap up.
Yeah, but when you have those tall receivers and those small cornerbacks, that's called a mismatch, folks. You might as well take advantage of it.
Terry in trouble, eluding tackles, tries to spin out of one and still on his feet, and he's going to go down fighting, and really no gain on the play. Still going to be marked to the 36.
The whirling dervish there was Carter Terry. Finally, the Eureka player got him by the jersey. Arm tackles wasn't getting it done. Get him by the jersey. Hold on to him until your help comes. And once again, you got Timms and O'Connell coming in. So passing situation here. Wouldn't be surprised. But, hey, listen, you bring in the passing package, and then how about a draw play? How about a quick screen? How about something out in the flat?
Second down and 10. Here is Romaine on the carry. He found a crease, breaks free. 10-5, and he's going to be brought down at the 2-yard line.
Oh, boy, and Red Devil goes down right around the 2. Nice burst by Romaine there. And again, spread everybody out, and then bring something else. Bring something different. I like that for Wesleyan. looks like a receiving package. Then you shoot Romaine right up the middle. Bam, nice block at the point of attack, and there he goes.
What a gain that was.
Tremendous. I love the speed, the agility, the elusiveness, the power.
So 1st and goal from the 2 of Eureka.
You know, why not give it to him again?
And he's going to get the carry, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan.
And that's what Coach Keller said. Listen, guys, come on. Let's just keep our foot on the gas. Let's not let up, and they don't. They missed the bomb to O'Connell, but a big run by Romaine and now a short run into the end zone extends this lead. But almost 50 points by Wesleyan in the first half. Wow, what an outburst.
And now the point after coming up here from Neufeld. Take a look at that again. Nice run there from Romaine. He takes it into the end zone, and what a great drive to cap off.
Yeah, Humphrey came in, but he jumped. He went inside a little bit too much. Went outside, rather, where he should have stayed on the edge. And Romaine just went into the spot where he vacated.
Just under 2 minutes left here before halftime. 48-20 is our score. Come back to Able Stadium after you see this. Back here at Able Stadium here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Jeff Moats, John Harris, our entire crew with you.
And the crack staff.
We'll talk more about Eureka College here in a moment as the kickoff return from the 5, or make that the 6, by Fulston all the way up to about the 24-yard line. And your staff really does a great job on doing a lot of research on these schools that we face every week that we cover games here for the Prairie Wolves. And
we have a Nebraska connection to Eureka College. The 10th governor of the state of Nebraska, William Pointer, is a Eureka College graduate.
That's interesting to note.
That's right. That's right. The former governor of Oklahoma, Frank Franz, say that 3 times fast, was a Eureka College graduate, along with the Reagans.
Out of Eureka, Illinois, here's a pump fake. Toss complete at the 28. Trying to march ahead, get some yards that time was Sebastian Hill, the wide receiver. Gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
One of the more interesting alums from Eureka College was Tom Vaughn, better known as Father Tom Vaughn, a jazz pianist and an Episcopal priest. How you like that? How you like that worship?
That's interesting to note. Here's a carry that time by Gerard, and he is going to be taken down and stopped that time by Connor Wilcox and a few others there for Wesleyan.
Yes, so you got amazing grace on the not on the 1-3, but on the 2-4. Father Tom, he wants the thing upbeat, man. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. What a combination.
Now, you did say you were going to sing today at some point, weren't you?
Well, you know. Interception.
Interception picked off at the 50 by
Convoy.
Trace. Make that Jacob Garnis. And now down the far side into the end zone, that's Trace. Make that Carroll Simpson. Simpson was the guy that picked off the pass. I looked at the wrong number. It's Carroll Simpson that made the interception out of Liberty High School in Kansas City, the freshman.
Oh, boy, what a pick.
Carell Simpson, there you see him.
That's even better than my singing.
With a pick 6.
Boy, what a turn of events. That's 54 points.
In the first half.
Wow.
This is a totally different football team. And
this is exciting.
You know, when we get to see them again here on the 25th against Loras in the conference matchup, it'll be interesting to see how this team competes against teams in the conference. Here's the point after up from Neufeld, and it's up and good. So it's 55-20.
Well, you know, they're putting a lot of stuff on tape. And, you know, again, zone coverage, deep back there, jump back there, and he just comes off his man, and tremendous job. Now you get the convoy, get down the sideline. Tremendous job. And now he's going to keep running some more.
Correll Simpson with the pick there.
That's a great job by him.
And read the passing lane really well. Read where that ball was heading and takes it back to the house. 55-20 in favor of Nebraska Wesleyan with 45 seconds remaining in this first half.
So most points ever for Wesleyan. The crack staff is at it again. 91 points, 19-19 against Kansas Wesleyan. So
102-year-old record.
You think we can get to 91?
Oh, if we keep this pace up, perhaps.
Is there a third digit on the scoreboard up there?
I don't see one.
I mean, the way this is going, my goodness.
Here's the kick.
Uh-oh, he touched it.
Touched, and it goes out of the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, a little miscue there.
Well, let's see. You got the single passing game, touchdown passing game record that's on the line.
Oh, it's in jeopardy, big time.
And very well could be achieved if we keep this up here as we go toward the second half.
Well, that's a question. I mean, what is Coach Keller going to do? You're up right now, 35 points. Again, you got some other things you'd like to work on in this first game.
Do you put in some of the second string guys?
Yeah. Do you run the ball a lot more? Okay. Again, there's a lot of things you want to work on in this first game, particularly when you have a comfortable lead.
40 seconds to spare here. Pass the flat to Folston out of bounds around the 27. Pickup of, actually, they're going to mark him at the 28. Pick up a 3 on the play.
But the one thing you cannot do is relax. And so you cannot just act like the game is won. Nobody ever wins a game at halftime. And so you want to stay with it and get yourself even a more comfortable lead where they can't come back.
I'll put double wideouts on each side here for Eureka with 2nd and 7 from the 28. Gerard dropping back, pass complete to Folston at the 39, gets across the 40, had the first down, and he's going to be tackled around the 45-yard line. Clock stops with just over 28 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I like what they're doing there. Again, just getting inside the zone, finding a space, and settling down there, and the quarterback's just throwing the dime right where it needs to be.
Ball at the 44, 1st and 10, down to 15 seconds here. There's a pass toward the far side, and it's going to be knocked away incomplete. Intended for Bradford, but double coverage over there from the Prairie Wolves, and the clock stops with just over 9 seconds to spare.
I think Bradford maybe have some cramping issues, so he's going to sit down on the field there. They're going to call a little time. He's cramping up.
You know, and the weather is still warm enough, John, and you and I see this on a regular basis when we do high school games here in Lincoln, that hydration is not obviously very important with warm weather, and we've had temperatures in the 70s, and it's probably pushing about 80 at this point. It's still warm enough out, and there's enough humidity where you're going to cramp up because you're going to be sweating all that hydration out.
Yeah, got to keep putting down the liquids.
Could be the final play of this first half. Keeper here up to the 50. And a flag is going to come out. Time winding down here, and the clock's going to stop with 1.6 seconds left. And a flag on the play could be a hold against Eureka College. It is a holding penalty, according to the head official. And I think Coach Keller says, let's decline it.
Yeah,
which will be a smart move.
And let's take this sweet taste of a great lead into the locker room. I mean, what's the speech you give at 35-point lead?
You know, we're doing well. You know, our offense has been spectacular. Defense has been very good. The thing we got to eliminate is let's just keep our mouths shut and go play ball.
I like that.
To me,
like
that would be.
I like that.
I think that's what I'm envisioning right now.
Yeah, I like send that downstairs.
I mean, at least maybe paraphrasing a little bit, but
But I think the running game, which is the thing that Wesleyan will have to get going here against other teams.
Because there's going to be teams that are going to face in the conferences here where the pass rush is pretty good.
Oh man, you're not going to have this kind of time, and once now that we have something on tape, they're gonna make sure that the receivers in Wesleyan don't have these nice releases that they have today. So it's going to pick up.
We're at the break. Halftime here at Able Stadium. It is a 55-20 advantage for Nebraska Wesleyan ahead of Eureka College. Coming up next here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network, my chat with Nebraska Wesleyan University President Dr. Darren Good. That's coming up after this on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. For the first time in about 22 months, it's been a long time, to say the least, that Nebraska Wesleyan football has been able to play before P-Wolf fans, and they get the chance to do that today. One of the many experiences that you can check out here on campus. Welcome back here at halftime, Jeff Moats, along with the president of Nebraska Wesleyan, Dr. Darren Good, as we talk about what else is happening on campus with all the excitement of not only football being back, but everything else happening on campus too.
Absolutely. It's my favorite part of the year. Startup of an academic year is just so much fun at any school, but in particular, I love this year. The positive energy that comes normally is just quadrupled in a year that follows the tough year everybody had last year. After a year of having so many experiences like athletics and theater events and other things canceled, being able to come back and have this fantastic, fully thriving campus is outstanding. And so it's a year that we return about 1,900 students between the undergraduate, adult, and graduate programs. And we're 2 weeks in, and the positivity and the vibe is outstanding. The excitement of the students is contagious, and so it's a fun time to be a Prairie Wolf.
And obviously something you don't want to have to be contagious again is COVID. and the good thing is people are taking the necessary precautions that they have to here on campus in order to do the everyday things that we were doing before the pandemic. What else has you excited about this school year in particular?
Yeah, I think we have so many things that are going to come back this year full strength that we couldn't do completely, if at all, last year. And again, all the credit goes to putting together really great health protocols and processes, but especially how our students, faculty, and staff have stepped up to be parts of the solution rather than the problem. We asked them to take it seriously, and 88% of our students are vaccinated, either partially or fully. 94% of our faculty and staff are vaccinated. It just opens the door for us to really have a safe and fully thriving campus. That means that we have a high probability that all of our experiences are going to continue full throttle. So not just athletic events, but our Greek houses, our student activities, our clubs, all are actively meeting. The choir and theater are full strength, and we've already been to a musical on campus, my wife and I. And being able to see live theater, live sporting events, this is part of the joy of Nebraska Wesleyan.
Being safe about it, but still being able to do what we were able to do before the pandemic, that's going to be the key this year here on campus, I would imagine. And it sounds like everything is off to a great start, Dr. Good, and looking forward to another successful academic year on campus.
Exactly. It's a year where we know we're going to be back to full in-person classes, faculty member up front, students working in small groups and engaged deeply. This is the kind of personalized education that represent our core values and the kind of educational experience we give every year here. And we're back to normal, close to it at least.
Now, that's terrific news to hear, and we're looking forward to another exciting year of events here on Nebraska Wesleyan. Dr. Darren Good, Nebraska Wesleyan University president here, joining us at halftime at Able Stadium. We'll come back with more Nebraska Wesleyan football after this on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network on LNK TV.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
You're watching Prairie Wolves football on the Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network.
Welcome back to Able Stadium. Along with John Harris, I'm Jeff Moats, our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew with you on LNK TV. Good crowd out here today for the home opener. And boy, when you look at the scoreboard, you think 55-20 in the first half. You think that'd be the final score of the ball game. We still have 30 minutes of football to play in this matchup.
Well, it's been an unbelievable and yet surprising opening here for Wesleyan. I mean, you look at this pass going to McConnell, a fade route. He eludes the defender, and then he taunts, which is a no-no, gets it all taken back for Wesleyan. That's a big mistake, but I'm sure Coach Keller talked to him about that.
But Mathis made up for it here later on and got that initial touchdown. There's the replay again of that O'Connell touchdown that was called back. But, again, Wesleyan has really done a tremendous job not only throwing the football, but they've ran the ball much better today. We saw Romaine with a touchdown run here late in the first half, the first rushing touchdown of the afternoon. Carter Terry's got 6 touchdown passes on the day. There was a pick 6 earlier, too, for the Prairie Wolves. And so we're at 55-20.
Well, you said it right. Let's keep our foot on the gas and not let up for a moment.
And on the kick return, here comes Eureka. It's Malik Folston who, with another short return past the 15 up to about the 17-yard line. So that's where Eureka will get the ball to begin the second half. And here's the other thing about Eureka. They were down 28-0. They put up 20 points in the first half. That, for any other team, that'd be an impressive performance in the first half. But what Nebraska Wesleyan has done today has exceeded expectations.
Well, they have gone over the top big time, and Carter Terry has just shown himself to be formidable here in this ball game. And, again, putting a lot on tape for other teams to look at. Wesleyan has to continue to do what they've done here in this first half, keep it going in the second half. And that defense has to remain tough. You don't want to give Eureka any sense that they are still in this ball game. Don't want to give them any hope at all. And as we saw, earlier, Bradford got behind the defense, and others might if you let up for just a moment.
So second down here for Eureka College. Another zone read, and it's Dowdy who gets the carry, gets the first down, gets up to about the 30-yard line where he's finally stopped.
And it is a long ball game, Jeff. We still got a long, long way to go. If you get a touchdown, get a stop, get another score, then, we got something exciting.
For us, that we cover the high school games on a regular basis here in Lincoln and other games in Nebraska. There is a 35-point rule that kicks in the second half where there's running clock.
Yeah.
Not the case here.
Now full ball game. Again, still zone for Wesleyan.
Dottie with the carry again, past the 30, gets to the 34-yard line, gets a 4-yard gain out of it.
What we have not seen today, Jeff, was Joe Hughes, who we mentioned at the outset, 1,000-yard rusher. Haven't seen him today.
Yeah, he was at 1,976 career rushing coming into today, assuming that we were going to see him. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, with him playing today, possibly that he was going to eclipse that mark at some point, but we have not seen him, not sure what the issue is. And here is a keeper by the quarterback, Gerard, that time, and he is quickly stopped on the play by Nebraska Wesleyan's Caleb Keys again.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to our crack staff. I think we might have some crack pots in that staff here.
I want to correct myself. Caleb Keyes is the guy. Keyes again out of Northeast.
Yeah, they do a great job. Sometimes you're keying on a guy, and you know right before the game he may not be able to play. So we put it out there, folks, and try to do the best we can to make sure you have everything you need to know as we prepare. But things change.
Penalty flags come out. This could be movement on that offensive line for Eureka.
We got everybody waving in each direction. Wesleyan's waving, take them back. Eureka's waving, move them forward.
Gojo's down there at the bottom of the screen doing the same thing. It is against Eureka. It's a false start here as we are just under 12.5 minutes in this third quarter.
Reminds me of that old wrestling move where the referee's counting 1, 2, and the guy lets go at two and a half. Oh no!
Oh, here comes the reversal.
All right, now you got to be careful here out on the edge. You got to
3rd and 9.
Pump and go.
Pass is going to be incomplete. Pressure was on that time. Good defense. And that was TJ Roybal who came in. He's the junior out of Auburn who put the pressure on. And so 4th down, here comes the punting unit for Eureka.
Eureka, interestingly enough, have a number of players from places like Bradenton, Orlando, West Palm Beach, Cocoa, Florida. So, I don't know what you got to do to tell a guy to come from those places in Florida to Illinois, but hey, it worked.
No, the state of Florida is one of those hotbeds for football.
A lot of great players in Florida. Great punt. Wow.
Booming punt. Guzman gets it at the 20. He's going to try to return it as he got behind there.
Oh.
And he was rock bottom big time behind the 20 at the 19-yard line, taken down there by Austin Hopkins.
Phew.
I mean, he came in there and just took him down, just slammed him to the turf.
Yeah, he was a little bit off balance, and that just laid him right open for Hopkins just to come in and lay that final lick to put him down. Eluded the first guy, which is what you want to do. Now Coach Keller said, okay, here we go. Foot on the gas.
Carter Terry going to be back out there at quarterback.
And I think getting down on the field for Coach Keller has made a difference. Right there, up close and personal.
Last couple of seasons before this one, he was up in the booth. And here is Logan Evans, who gets the carry, tries to get behind a block, and he's going to be tripped up and stopped and thrown back down for a loss of yards back behind the 20 at the 18. But
yeah, this is where we want to be careful. Again, you want to, you got a big lead. You decide to run the ball, or do you just keep laying it on? And I think it might be a little bit of both. Let's see if we can run it first. See how that works out. If it doesn't work out, then we're going to go back to our passing game, which they have not been able to stop.
And that's the thing about Nebraska Wesleyan. You go back all the way to when Jonathan Curdy was the starting quarterback here. They were more pass-oriented and not as much on the ground. Very pass-heavy in their offensive scheme.
Signal to the left here.
Here's a little play-action toss down the far sideline intended for Mathis. Goes out of bounds, incomplete. It was probably about 3 or 4 yards ahead of him.
Yeah, he sent the signal to Mathis right before the snap. Hands on the shoulders. Take off on the fly pattern. Just couldn't get separation.
So 3rd and 12 here for the Prairie Wolves. At their own 18 with just over 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They lead it, as you see on the bottom of your screen, 55-20.
That's real, folks.
Here's Terry in the pocket again, throwing toward the area of Mathis, and it goes out of bounds into the Eureka sideline instead.
I mean, will this be the first punt?
It looks like it might be the first one of the afternoon. And Jacob Hull out of Lincoln Southwest will come out and punt.
So he's been waiting over there, wondering when he was going to get on the field.
Yeah, there's been really no need for him today.
Well, let's see how he does. I know he's been over there warming up, so now he has to kick in the game. Something's going on there. Where's the clock? Down 5, 4, 2, 1.
Flags come out. This could be a delay of game. Nice booming punt. And the fair catch by Folston going to be waved at the 30-yard line.
He's going to have to kick this one again. Unless
there's something against Eureka.
Yeah, the
line judge was pointing toward them.
Yes, he was.
Now let's find out from the head referee.
Offside on the defense. That 5-yard penalty assessed at the end of the punt. Down.
So offsides is the penalty. That was a nice booming punt.
Yeah. Not enough to give Wesleyan a first down. So they're going to assess it 5 yards backwards.
So from the 30, they will spot it at the 25. So essentially it's almost like they had a touchback with where they're starting. And so they'll go 2 splits each side here on 1st and 10. Fake handoff pass to the flat to Folston, complete. And he's going to be corralled and stopped. Gets 2 yards in the pickup that time. Gets tackled there by Roybal.
Yeah, when we're looking at these guys with 2 numbers, just about everybody has 2 numbers.
Well, a lot of them, of course, play one direction. Practically all of them play one direction. But you can duplicate that. That's something in college football that's been around a long time. Nebraska, I always remember Nebraska for years had duplicates.
All the time.
One guy be a defensive end, the other one be a wide receiver. 2nd and 7. Gerard's pass is complete. Fumble on the play. Loose football. Did Eureka cover it, though? I think they did.
And got yards out of it.
Yeah, about a yard short of the first down at the 34. So 3rd down and short here for Eureka.
Yeah, nice little short pass. 1-2. Throw it out. Got to secure it. Nice tackle there. Submarine there.
So 3rd and short. And
so Simpson makes his presence known again, though they do not secure the fumble.
Let's see what Eureka does here. They'll hand it off, and they meet at the point of attack and stop him short of the first down. And a big stop there for Wesleyan. Spencer Brooks among those over there to help make the stop.
Let's see what happens here. They're going to punt it.
Yep. I think there's no other choice. You got to punt away. So the punting unit comes out here as the clock winds down with 9 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And Victor Guzman will be back to punt, or back to return, I should say. He's back to return, hanging around the 35-yard line to our left.
And again, special teams, you want to make sure you secure the catch.
And kind of a wide angle shot there. Here's the punt. And Guzman going to field it at the 31. And he's going to run into a tackle and be brought down at the 34-yard line. He was quickly met up there by Kerensky Roden, the freshman out of Richton Park, Illinois.
Well, they're going to go get over to the sideline and say, let me share 2 words with you. Fair catch. Okay, that's because those are the situations where you want to fair catch the ball.
You see the stampede coming your way, that would be the perfect time to say, hey, fair catch.
And plus, you don't need to take those hits unnecessarily.
So 1st and 10 here out of the I formation, and the handoff given up here, and it looks like it's Romaine who gets the carry. Gets up to about the 39.
But, you know, some guys love the contact, so it doesn't matter. You know, they want to run the ball if the guy's even bearing right down on top of him. So, hey, it's football. Like Romaine, they're running nice and strong. I like to see him get his shoulders down and really go right into the defender, particularly in close quarters. Keep the ball wrapped up so we don't get a turnover.
They'll shift up the offense and go to an I formation setup. And it's Romaine working around right side. Stiff arms his way past the 45, gets down to the 50 where he's knocked out of bounds. They're going to mark him out at the 49 of Eureka.
Boy, that's strong running by Romaine. That's tremendous. And that's what Nebraska Wesleyan is going to need.
That's what they want to establish, is more of a ground presence like that.
Yeah, and if they can get that out of him, again, not super elusive, not a scat back, but a power back. Love the stiff arm with the left arm. Ball in the right outside arm. That's what you got to have.
They'll get everything set up. Under center is Terry. Play action from him. Toss over here to the near side of the field. Going to be caught by O'Connell at the 20 and brought out of bounds at, no, it's a catch made by Trace Lenners, I beg your pardon. I thought I saw a 4, but it's Lenners. He's brought down at about the 16. So it says Lenners with the reception. Nice
little pitch and catch there. And Terry, man, I'll tell you what, he's just so smooth back there. Again, give the offensive line lots of credit because they've given him lots of time.
Grant Snelling in the backfield, too, as they work out of the I, and it's going to be Romaine who gets the carry and drags a tackle with him inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, drags about 3 or 4 guys down there with him.
Gets 4 yards out
wow.
of him, too.
I mean, look at the lower legs on that guy. Remind me of a young Jeff Moats back in the day.
Far from it.
Skinny ankles.
No. Maybe for my size, big calves, but not like that.
Not like that, huh?
No.
Yeah, but that nice lower body center of gravity for Romaine gives him that nice power, that nice drive.
Snelling the fullback. Here's a pitch to Romaine from Terry. And just, as you would say, a whirling dervish down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I think there, he's going to look back at the tape, and he had a cutback toward the middle, went a little bit outside, could put his foot in the ground and get a little cutback lane inside. May have taken it to the house, but got a little bit more yards out of it.
Romaine, a freshman out of Colorado Springs. Played his high school ball at Vista Ridge High. Again, there are 65 new players on this team, 8 of which are transfers, though. Low snap to Terry, pressure's on, got a pass complete around the 3-yard line. The reception made by Tanner Johnson. And just outside the goal line, they're going to bring him down at the 1. It was close.
Xavier Smith, boy, made a touchdown-saving tackle. Let's see what happens here with the laundry. Oh, we're moving back.
We got some cloth on the sequence. Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield on the offense.
So false start.
5 yards. Keep third down.
So false start against Nebraska Wesleyan here, under 6 minutes to go here in the third. And, you know, you don't want to show your vulnerability completely. You got to, you know, still be on top of your game and limit the penalties and the mistakes. And I think Wesleyan's done that for the most part today. But I know you're at 55-20. Don't let it go.
Yeah, and you don't want to show every other team everything that you got.
Here's Terry. Short toss complete to Romaine. Romaine on the edge, 10-5. He got the first down, knocked out of there. And they're going to mark him at about the 4-yard line. So a 1st and goal coming up here for the Prairie Wolves.
That's a good job on the edge there. Eric Martinez saved a touchdown. Once again, Boynton Beach, Florida.
And you see Romaine going down the far sideline, and You know, that's good to see. He's a young man, and he's capable of being an effective running back, something that Wesleyan has needed for a long time. He'll get the pitch, and he'll run into a tackle, and he's going to be brought down the play by Bryson Smith of Eureka. But, again, passing has been the bread and butter of this team for quite a while. They want to reestablish the ground game, too, try to be balanced. Every team tries to be balanced as much as possible. But I think you also have your strengths that maybe outweigh everything else that you do, and passing's been that strength for Wesleyan for quite a while.
Yeah, and such is the case today. See if he gets a 7th passing touchdown here, tying the mark.
2nd and goal. Terry, he's going to keep it, but he's going to be wrapped up and stopped for a loss of yards back at the 10. That's right. He's got 6 touchdown tosses today. Number 7 would tie it. The all-time record in a single game, which has been held since 1983 by Mark Peterson.
Now again, what you might be looking for if you get O'Connell, somebody in the game like that, looking for that fade route, try to find out where the small player is, small cornerback, and I think it's close on the field here, but O'Connell not in the ball game here.
3rd and goal from the 10.
Inside move, fade route. Haven't used much of the tight end today.
Holman, he'll line up as the tight end on the right side of the line. And now what do we got here? Timeout. Delay a game.
Yeah, see, these are some of the things here in this second half you cannot have. Didn't see much of this in the first half.
Cannot have this type of breakdown.
No.
Yeah, you may be up by 35 points, but still, the point is, don't have a breakdown.
Yeah, and let's watch these mental mistakes. Because the teams are only going to get better.
Right.
Every week. They're only going to get better.
And a timeout taken by Nebraska Wesleyan. We'll keep it right here. And let's finish the thought, because Central College is 2 weeks away in Pella. And then 3 weeks from today, you got Loris here in Lincoln coming up. And looking down the road, you know, you got Luther College, you got Dubuque, who's another powerhouse team in the conference, on October 9th. You go to Buena Vista after that. You get a week off, and you have Simpson here in Lincoln on Halloween weekend. Then you go to Wartburg, then you're back home to wrap things up against Coe, another good program that we've seen in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the top 25 here. I mean, we're looking at Wartburg at 13, looking at Central at 17. And so, you know, you're looking at teams in our conference who we will play who are some of the best teams in the nation.
Yeah.
In this division. So you know, again, it's only going to get tougher for Wesleyan. And the pass is coming. There he is.
Into the end zone. The grab made for a touchdown. Lenners gets in there, and there's number 7 on the afternoon for Carter Terry.
Wow.
And it ties a single game record that's been held, again, for 38 years by Mark Peterson.
Records are made to be broken, Mark. Sorry about that. But great job. What that means is Wesleyan, again, still putting the pedal to the metal. And tried the running game. But, you know, you might say, hey, listen, before this season, the bread and butter will be the passing game.
61-20 with the point after coming up. Snapping the hold. The kick is up from Neufeld, and it is good. And we're at 62-20. 3:07 to go. Third quarter here at Able Stadium. It's opening weekend of Nebraska Wesleyan football right here on LNK TV. Back here at Able Stadium on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Morris College in action against St. Norbert College. They're tied at 14 at last check. I believe that was the second half. So Loris having a challenge today in their non-con. And far from that here in Lincoln.
Well, I mean,
all around.
Well, I think when people begin to see this score, and you know, they're going to be thinking about, boy, tell you what, Wesleyan's putting up those kind of numbers. But it doesn't matter who you play. I mean, it's football, and you got to produce. You have to, do what's necessary to do what Wesleyan's doing here today. 62 big points. That's huge.
Here's the kick, and it's going to go into the end zone.
Better go down.
And he's going to run it back. And he's hit hard, big time. The return man, Quentin Brookins.
He could have gone down.
Takes a lick.
He didn't realize he could have gone down the end zone. He figures you got to know the rule. Even though you touch the ball and it goes into the end zone, you can go down.
And the other, here's the other thing. We've seen Wesleyan in total control today, but, Eureka College has had difficulty just getting on a proper track, if you will, of not breaking down, not committing so many mistakes.
Yeah, well, you got to know the game there, Jeff.
And that's been the issue for them.
Yeah, he just didn't realize that even though the ball went to the end zone, he didn't have to bring it out. He could have just gone down.
62-20 our score. Here it is, a handoff. And no gain on the play, maybe a 1-yard loss back at the 5-yard line. And trying to see who that young man is, 36.
And then the
is
tackle.
Nathaniel Massey.
And tackled by big number 44, Caleb Keys.
So this will be 2nd and 10, no gain, still at the 5. Looking to throw is Gerard out the end zone, ball tipped up, going to be picked off at the 32 by Wesleyan. Inside the 15, working to the edge and trying to get into the end zone, going to be ran out of bounds in the far corner. Ashton Kirkland, the freshman out of Riverview, Florida, with the pick. And a few happy Prairie Wolf defenders coming off to the sideline. There you see, let's watch this play again. And it looked like the pass got tipped up there.
I think he just ducked it, if you could call it that. He just didn't have enough arm strength to get it out there. The wounded duck. He tried to wind up, and didn't have enough strength to get it out there. It might have just slipped out of his hand.
1st and goal here. This is from
new quarterback.
The 6, new quarterback in for Wesleyan. That will be Evan Johnson, the sophomore. He'll get some time out there. So Terry, not in on this series. Don't know if he's done for the day or not.
Yeah, I'd take him. Yeah, he's done. He's got to be. He's got to be. Unless for some stroke of luck and genius, Eureka figures this out and makes this a 1-score game, which I doubt. But hey, stranger things have happened.
That's true. 2nd and goal from the 5. Johnson, the quarterback, gets the snap, jet sweep, around right side, stumbling forward and falling short of the end zone. Not able to get in there that time. The ball carrier for Wesleyan, which happened to be Isaac Danielle. So 3rd and goal coming up here from the 3 of Eureka.
Wesleyan should get a lot of players on the field today, Jeff. Get a lot more experience. So you're up 42 points right now over Eureka.
And this is senior day today because they usually save that stuff for the end of the season, but of course with COVID-19 you don't know. So they decided to do it on the first day of the season, which is fitting today. Here's a pass. It's picked up in the end zone, and it's going to be ran up all the way back along the near side and out of bounds. They're going to run him out somewhere around the 30-yard line in that neighborhood. So a pick. Good defense that time by Quentin Brookins, the defensive back, who got the interception in the end zone.
Yeah, and he was the one who ran out of the end zone just a few moments ago. So his mistake, now he capitalizes with a great play in the end zone. Just a quick out, timing play. He jumps it, bam. Fortunate he didn't go 103 yards down the sideline. Great angle by the quarterback to run him out of bounds.
About the 26-yard line is where they're going to put the ball.
Yeah, that could have been real trouble.
35 seconds here on this game clock in the third quarter. Another 15 minutes left to play in this one. Here is a handoff around left side, past the 30 to about the 34, 35-yard line. And the ball carrier ran out of bounds that time. That happened to be Gabe Townsend, sophomore. And new quarterback in there, it looks like, for Eureka as well. Lucas Tinkham, sophomore, 6'2", 210 pounds.
Yeah, so both teams getting a lot of guys on the field.
It's garbage time, yeah. But this is a time for your guys to get out there and get some reps that don't normally get out there on the field as often. Blitz being shown, zone read. And around right side on the carry is Townsend. He'll work toward the edge. He's going to be short of the first down. Doesn't look like there was a gain on the play either. Still at the 35. And time runs out, and we're through 3 quarters here at Able Stadium. All Nebraska Wesleyan from the get-go. They're in full control now as we go to quarter number 4, up 62-20. Dan Griffith there in the end zone. He's been one of our longtime photogs. There you are, Dan. Hello.
I take back everything I've ever said about him. But not everything.
He's a roadie for Waylon Jennings, huh? Now, you know what? I know Dan is a big Waylon Jennings fan.
Well, he makes me want to sing I'm a Okie from Muskogee. I'm an Okie from Muskogee.
Did Waylon sing that?
I don't know, but I like the song.
It's either him or Merle Haggard, I think. I'm trying to remember back to my country radio days. There's a pass in the flat on 2nd and long that goes incomplete.
My country radio days?
I did country radio at one point.
Did you have any sideburns when you were doing it?
No. I did not. I did have a goatee.
We need to see some pictures from that time.
You do not. And there's a reason why that there weren't a lot taken.
Oh, boy.
You know, Steve Smith has been a part of our crew a long time.
Long time.
And he's what I would call our photographer emeritus. There's a pass complete.
Oh, did he catch that?
At the 50. I think they're going to spot him at the 49-yard line. What a grab that was.
Oh, my goodness.
And I believe, is that Quinn Keller? I think it was Quinn Keller, the junior out of Lincoln Northeast.
My goodness, what a catch.
That's enough for a first down.
Another Northeast Rocket
and the
job well done.
And the son of Coach Keller.
I mean, what a catch this is. Backhand catch. Down on the ground. He's up, throws the ball on the ground. Wow, what a catch. Might have to get him on the offensive side.
Great grab. Johnson in there at quarterback. Here's a handoff around right side. Xander Vargas is in there. 5'4", 163, a sophomore out of Wellington, Kansas, which is just south of Wichita, right above the Kansas-Oklahoma border.
Right above the county line.
Oh, man. Have the wheels fallen off the bus yet?
I know there's a song there somewhere.
Here's a handoff again to Vargas, and he's going to be, at the 40, short at the 40-yard line, had to get to the 39. That was really well done, I must say.
I'm feeling my Johnny Cash vibe.
I did country radio for a while.
I
Something I don't brag about.
I'm still looking for some sideburns. I can just see you with some sideburns.
Yeah.
And that was Conway Twitty. Loretta Lynn. Patsy Cline.
Oh, 3rd and short. And Vargas gets the handoff again, gets the first down. Now a penalty marker comes out.
Yeah, that was Minnie Pearl.
Grandpa Jones. Why don't we just throw the whole cast of Hee-Haw in there?
Oh, well, hey, come on now.
Oh, man.
Hey, you got some of the best of all time on Hee-Haw. Come on now. Roy Clark, I mean, come on. All right, let's see what we got here. Holding.
Ooh, face mask.
Wow.
Against Eureka.
Now, they don't need that.
That's costly.
Yeah. Well, you got guys, you got your subs in. Guys getting their hands in the face mask. Yeah, going to go explain it to the coach. You know, don't help them out, he says. Just calling them like we see it, sir. Calling them like we see it. So this is valuable, Jeff. I mean, we can't speak of how valuable this is. A whole 4th quarter for many of these young players.
Exactly. That's why.
To have an opportunity here.
You know, it's a lot of valuable exposure for them to get some playing time. And if they were to improve, here's Johnson rolling out left side. Pass is going incomplete. It was intended for Snelling, who was, you know, the guy out of the backfield, lined up as the fullback. And it went incomplete.
Now, some folks would say, don't ever throw a pass to the fullback. Well,
yeah.
You know, he didn't have his hands totally set the right way. But, again, that's okay. That's okay. And he did. It was a nice toss from the quarterback, nice and soft.
Ball at the 22 of Eureka. 2nd and 10 here for Nebraska Wesleyan. Here's a handoff to Vargas in between the tackles and found some room. He got it down to the 15, pick up a 7.
Nice job. Low to the ground, just picking his spots, being patient is Vargas. Again, I'd like to see, you know, we haven't seen very much of the tight end today except for blocking. And I think that'll be a valuable part of this offense at some point in time. We got guys good on the outside, but you got to use that tight end down the middle.
You almost have to utilize the tight end as much as possible.
Got to get him involved.
Here's Johnson on the handoff, gives it to Vargas. Going to be stopped at the 15 for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
But now we got an opportunity for a field goal attempt. And so got to bring that special team on, give them an opportunity to have some success there from, you'd say, about 32 yards out. Oh, well, I guess not.
They'll go for it.
Or 27 yards out, not 32, 27. Well, let's see what happens here. This is going to be interesting.
Johnson and Brody Marshall, they're the wide receivers on the far side right. Here's a pitch to
Get
Vargas.
Outside.
Working to the edge, cuts back in, 10, gets into the end zone, touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan, and it's Vargas.
Wow, he got around outside, showed some speed out there, and then put his foot in the ground and just went north. Boy, that's a tremendous job by Vargas. Good run.
68-20 with the point after coming up.
And we're going to watch it again. He had an opportunity here. Now get outside, bounce it. Now elude the defender. And put your shoulder down right into the end zone. Tremendous job. Great job by Vargas. Adds to the scoring for the Prairie Wolves. This guy's leg should be tired right here.
Neufeld with the point after. It's through the uprights. And good. And it's 69-20 Nebraska Wesleyan. 11-12 to go here before the end of this one. We'll take a break. Come back after you see this. See the wide shot of Able Stadium
Oh, and that's right. That's real, folks.
Jeff Moats, John Harris with you here on LNK TV, the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
You might think that Coach Dale Wellman was involved with this score.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Basketball season, they'll get their practices going here in a little more than a month or so. Hard to believe.
Man, you know, something about time. It just keeps on moving. How about Steve Miller Band on this one?
Time keeps on slipping into the future.
Okay, there you go. Let's see what happens here. He calls a fair catch on this one. Don't have any mishap.
Now you got me on a Steve Miller kick. I want to go home and listen to the Steve Miller Band.
Well, you can listen to him in your car on your way home. I have the great fortune now of my son bought me for my birthday on 4th of July a turntable.
He did.
Yes, he did. And now I've been going up to Vintage Vinyl up here
Yeah.
on 70th, racking up in the $2
I
aisle.
bet.
Oh, yeah, big time. Nice collection. Got some Everly Brothers, too.
Nope. Well, yeah. One of them just passed here as 1st and 10 for Eureka, cutting out to the edge. Past the 35-40. Got the first down. Good run that time by Lamont Hill Jr., the freshman out of East Moline, Illinois, from the Quad Cities area.
Love the Quad Cities. He should be fresh
Yep.
coming into the ball game.
Who would have thought that turntables and vinyl would be back in style?
Well, guess what? I got one, and it's big time.
Here's a handoff again. Giving up that time. It's Hill. Takes it past the 50. Takes a tumble as he's surrounded by Prairie Wolves at the 49 at Wesleyan.
Yeah, and again, a lot of guys who probably weren't expecting to be involved in the game are getting valuable minutes, even in the loss, even the losing team. You know what? You got to get guys on the field. Let them experience this.
Coaching booth next to us, just one person in there today.
Yeah, that booth was full the last couple of years.
And I can't believe it. Here is a fake by Tinkham. Throws it past the far side. It goes incomplete, intended for Chandler Boyd. And guys in the remote truck are getting cute now. They're playing Steve Miller Band. I think that's out of Dale Johnson's collection.
Dale Johnson, man, you know, that guy has an eclectic a list as probably anybody.
Dale's our sound guy here in the crew, and he's also the news director, longtime news director at KFOR Radio here in Lincoln. Been my supervisor for over 15 years now.
And just a good guy. I mean,
Great man.
he's just a good guy. I want to try to say something bad about him, but I can't. You know,
I don't think anybody can.
No, I don't. Well, somebody out there.
Hill on the carry gets the first down as Eureka sustains the drive. Ball going to be at the Wesleyan 47 here, 9:47 and counting. It is all but over at this point, I'm afraid.
Well, you know, Eureka, you know, they're going to have opportunities as their season progresses to learn from this game. Made a couple mistakes, got a couple interceptions. Again, the pass rush for Wesleyan really got to their quarterback, wreaked some havoc.
Here's Hill again, and he is just swarmed and surrounded by black and gold jerseys.
Yeah, see, there's just too much penetration for the defense, and the offense has to do a better job of holding them at bay.
If we're seeing some of the second-string guys on defense, I mean that's impressive the way that they're playing right now.
Yeah, still at it.
Extremely impressive.
Got an offensive lineman out here, 6'4", 295, Mark Lacine. Maybe I'm not saying that right.
Tinkham, the quarterback, will keep it on the zone read and takes it 2 yards down to the 47. It's really turned out to be a beautiful afternoon here in Lincoln.
Tremendous.
It was overcast and gray, and we thought maybe rain would be a factor. And
now we have the field, which is, here it is, sun-drenched.
An early fall afternoon in Lincoln, and very picturesque view as you look across the street at the neighborhood with the trees, and those trees are going to be changing colors here before too long.
Yep, reminds me of those days back in New Hampshire, New England.
Pass complete at the 45. Grab made that time by Newman.
Boy, Wesleyan, again, people are cheering for the tackle made there. And Wesleyan's done a great job. Haven't missed a whole lot of tackles today, Jeff. That was Quanzi Woodley there in the ball game from Fountain, Colorado. Fountain Fort Carson. Did some work out there at Fort Carson, the Army base out there.
Sometimes that's kind of the training area for, I think, the Nebraska National Guard. That's one of their spots.
Yeah, enjoyed some years doing military employment training.
4th down here for Eureka, and the catch on the near side. Christopher Hale makes the grab, but short of the first down, and Wesleyan will get the ball back on downs and take control here with 7:17 to go.
Got to get enough yards for the first down. So you tell your quarterback, hey, listen, we got to get at least enough yards for the first down. Doesn't make any sense to throw a pass where you're 3 yards short of the first down.
So, Prairie Wolves on offense again. And a new quarterback in there for Wesleyan. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Here is a handoff. And the ball given up that time to Jack Holsing. The quarterback is Tyler Allman, the senior out of Firth. Played his high school ball at Norris High School, school that we're pretty familiar with our high school coverage here locally in Lincoln. Coming from a pretty good football program down there. So he gets some playing time today. Again, he's a senior, one of the 16 that were honored here just before kickoff. He'll work out of the I formation with one receiver each side. Here's a pitch. And Holsing working to the outside and gets hit hard and stopped at the 43-yard line.
Tremendous job there. Eureka still playing hard as well. Great tackle there by Eric Martinez coming up from his defensive back or linebacker position. Tremendous job running to the football. Again, just over 6 minutes left in this ball game. Still a long way to go. Though when you're running the ball, the clock doesn't stop.
So they'll go 2 splits far side and 2 on the near side, top to bottom on your screen. 3rd and 10 here for the Wolves. Ahmed throws a pass and it's picked off at the 47. And on the return down here on the near side is Nehemiah Butler, and he's going to be ran out of bounds around the 15-yard line.
Well, he read that like a book, Jeff. He read that so well and just spied the eyes of the quarterback and just jumped it and was right there. I mean, he just set him up. He just moved a little bit to the right and then, boom, just stepped right in front, eluded the tackle there, and he's off to the races. Going to get tackled before he gets too far down the field, down toward the end zone. But great job again by this defense of Eureka. They're still playing ball, still trying to put points on the board.
Not giving up just yet. They want to get maybe one more score up there if they can. Tinkham on the handoff, and it's Lamont Hill Jr. on the move on the far side, and he is going to be stopped at the Prairie Wolf 15-yard line as the clock continues to wind down with 5.5 to go.
Trying to bounce that thing outside. Wesleyan, great job we can mention today. A great job of pursuit, particularly running down the line of scrimmage. Tremendous job even on that play of doing it the same way. They've been doing it all game. And so Coach Keller, I'm sure, is going to be very, very pleased with what he's seen here today.
2nd and 8. Tinkham fakes the handoff. Pass far side is incomplete. Ball knocked out of the hands of the receiver, Chandler Boyd. And the hit applied by Sam Miranda, the freshman out of Golden, Colorado.
Yeah, and Sam laid a lick, I'll tell you that. And that's a very vulnerable place to put your running back out there in the flat. He's looking the other way, and then here it comes. Boom. with the shoulder, perfect form tackle. Oh, my goodness. That's how you want to do it.
Well, so far, the 69 points accumulated today by Nebraska Wesleyan is the highest point total in Coach Brian Keller's tenure here at Nebraska Wesleyan. 3rd and 8, and the run stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It looks like maybe for a loss of yards. That's going to bring up 4th down. But 69 points, the most under Coach Keller since he started back in 1996.
Well, it's been a tremendous effort, and I know we were pleasantly surprised by the way they came out here in the first half and laid some points on the board. I'll tell you what, this passing game today has been prolific. The question is you and in your mind, my mind, can it be sustained?
That's going to be the key. 4th down here. Tinkham, his pass is broken up, incomplete. And it was broken up that time by Dominic Dara.
Yeah, from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Played football at Palmyra, though.
Tremendous job by Dominique. Again, eyeing his target. Went right to him. And Dominique Dara said, no, we're not having it. We're not having it.
Yeah, Coach Keller, 25 seasons, actually entering number 26. This is season number 26.
You know, when you talk to him, you ask him, say, Coach, haven't you been, around the block? You've been here long enough. He just loves not only coaching football, but he loves these young people, love these guys, loves working with them. And so it's about something more than football for Brian Keller.
Yeah, and, there's a lot of kids, a lot of former players you talk to, and nothing but great things to say about him. I think he's one of the more well-respected coaches in this area for state college and, small college football and in even that way throughout the American Rivers Conference. I think there's a lot of people who say nothing but good things about him and what he's done. And granted, there's been a string of seasons where it hasn't been up to what he's wanted and everybody else has wanted. But the way that things have been going today, you begin to look at this and you think, okay, can they sustain this? Can they make this happen again next week when they go up to Minneapolis? Can they do it here in 2 weeks when they play at Central College? A lot of questions have yet to be answered, so we'll see. And that's the only thing you can hope for.
Well,
is a performance like today to happen every time you go out and play football. So, but Coach Keller has to be certainly pleased with what has happened today, by far.
We just heard from the truck. Nebraska Wesleyan highest point total before today, 82 points against Kearney State, 1919.
Wow.
82-0.
So that is, now we're 13 off from that.
And it doesn't look like we're probably going to get there.
Probably not.
Probably not going to get there.
The passing, touchdown passing in a single game, that record was tied earlier today by Carter Terry. He's tied now with Mark Peterson with that.
And I think Coach Keller, the way he's old school, not going to try to run up the score anymore.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
Now, if somebody breaks a run, and they're off to the races, then so be it. You're not going to tell them to stop at the 3-yard line. But
this game, the third most points in program history. In fact, as I look down at the sideline, some of the starters from today, like O'Connell, for instance, he's already out of his pads. He's in shorts and sandals with his jersey on. And
well, he's very fortunate to have played another down today after his first miscue with the taunting thing. Some coaches would have sat him down for the rest of the game because that took points off the board. It was a very bad look, not just for him but for the team, for the university. You're representing every aspect of the university when you're out here. And that taunting, I'm sure, was not something Coach Keller, they practiced in practice. How about that?
Yeah. Nathan Menarick on that carry the last time. He's a freshman that played high school ball up at Gretna.
Yeah, but you get out here, you get a little bit too excited. And then, you know, when guys are jawing at you and you're jawing back and you put a score right in their face, you want to rub it in their face.
And Menarick again, we're going to get the handoff on 3rd down and 7. He pushes his way up to the 35. And we're down to the final minute of this game. And didn't seem like it took that long here in the second half. First half seemed like it took an eternity based on what was scoring, all the scoring going on.
Yeah, but, you know, running the ball obviously gets that clock moving. And this has just been a tremendous effort by Nebraska Wesleyan, an effort we've been waiting for.
A big confidence boost. So next week, next Saturday, they go to Minneapolis, play at Augsburg University. 2 weeks from now, they play at Central College over in Pella. And then our next broadcast here in Lincoln will be with Loras College in town on the 25th. Fair catch going to be waved at the 22-yard line. The clock will stop at 20 seconds remaining in this game. So that's what's coming up. Again, our next broadcast, September 25th, 1 o'clock kickoff with Loras College in town to play Nebraska Wesleyan.
Always a challenging game with Loras coming up here. Been to their campus, very nice campus.
Yeah. So the clock stopped at 20 seconds. And probably one more play left. We'll see what Eureka does here as they try to wind things out and try to board the bus and head back east to Eureka, Illinois. And Tinkham at quarterback gets a snap. And it's Lamont Hill Jr. on the carry, it looks like, breaking tackles, getting up to the 35 to the 40. And stopped just across the 40 at the 41. So one more play. How about that? One more play.
Yeah. Again, another effort to give somebody some time here. That was actually
Nathaniel Massey, I beg your pardon. That was Massey on the carry. His time winds out, and that should do it. Final score, Nebraska Wesleyan 69, Eureka College 20. The Prairie Wolves start the season 1-0. It's I believe the 5th consecutive time that they have opened up the season with a victory. And let's take a look at some of the action from earlier today. And of course, what got things going was this big play that was called back because of an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty by O'Connell. There you see the flag come out. And then short time later, Carter Terry throws his first touchdown pass of the day. That's his second. That was the one to O'Connell. But 7 on the afternoon for him. Kevin Timms get on in the action earlier with his first touchdown catch of the season. Terry again with another big pass play. There's Mathis with the reception. And Terry again in the pocket over the middle, and a great catch there by Kevin Timms. So he took it into the end zone, and then Loras decided to get in the act later, and there's a touchdown for their first score of the day. But the Prairie Wolves were absolutely dominant. One of the more dominating performances in program history as they come away with a 69-20 victory this afternoon over Eureka College, and Wesleyan will improve to 1-0 on the season. Again, just some more highlights there. You see a pass from Terry to O'Connell, who takes it into the end zone for another touchdown. And the Prairie Wolves win it here this afternoon by the final of 69-20. A big thanks to all of our crew members today here on LNK TV for the fantastic work behind the scenes. For Bull Wolf and Jamie Wentz, for John Harris, I'm Jeff Moats. Have yourself a good afternoon. We'll talk to you again here in a few weeks. And good afternoon from Able Stadium here in Lincoln.
Today's Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network broadcast was made possible by Lincoln Electric System. It's your electricity. Own it. And Nebraska